said let Solo squash him, and I was just appalled.
That right there.
That's what they should do. Hey, again, Tony Khan, if you're listening, take your ranking system and ramp it all the way up and just stop telling stories because you just fucking suck at it.
Why is Roman not the champ? Well, Roman retired 6 years ago, Vince.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 58 of the MACKDOWN Podcast. Today we have everybody minus one, who's usually not here anyway. So, so we have the OG4.
Nice. That is the OG4. That's a song, goddamn. The OG4. We could be like a group. We could do the whole thing.
Sounds like a band name.
Hey, man, we've been threatening these Baxter the After the Bell parody songs. So.
Oh, speaking of Mr. B, do you remember when you were like, "Oh, you should write that down"? Like what song I was making up in the car the other day?
I don't remember. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah, see, fuck. I couldn't. He's like, you should write this down. I'm like, yeah, I can be good when I want to be, and then just totally don't even know what song it was, what lyrics I made up, can't remember any of it.
I think we have really talented musician songwriters sitting in this room right now that don't even know it.
Not me.
Myself included.
You could do it.
I think it's possible.
I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
Hey, man, you could just sit in the background and just say like a word monotone, and we'll make it work. It just has to be in that certain key.
Huh?
There you go.
Oh.
That's it, right there. Boom. And we'll just put like a flare on that. Put some echo on it.
Yeah, with all your degrees, Mr. B, you send our music into space or some shit.
Hey, all my degrees are in fixing shit.
Not creating, fixing.
Not creating, fixing. So you create it, I'll fix it.
There you go.
Hey.
Whatever it may be, as long
We got hits, man. We got hits all day.
So today's just a
man.
free-for-all? We're not, really...
What a weekend
specifically
wrestling
talking
we
about
did have, though,
certain
guys. I mean, if you think about it, this has been like one of those like real big transitional weeks, in my opinion. You know, we've set up a lot of things. You know, there's this big rumor going on with the WWE right now. I don't know if you guys have been catching on to this whole Rabbit this 923 Rabbit thing going on, all that good stuff.
Well, why don't we
They're
start
thinking-
there, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so there's been a QR code that's been propping up in the fans with signs and on the TV. And when you click on it, it's a white rabbit. And the white rabbit is going around. It's all, in my opinion, speculation about
Well,
the
and
Bray
not
Wyatt
only that, they're
situation.
doing the White Rabbit Jefferson airplane song too. They're playing
Yes.
it at house show loops, and then they're also doing it during commercial breaks too. So there's
Right.
something about a fucking White Rabbit, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's Bray, it's Bray, it's Bray."
It's Bray, exactly.
Is it though?
Yeah, what does the White Rabbit have to do with Bray exactly?
It because you know how I'm late. You know, you remember that from Alice in Wonderland, how he's late and he's trying to get to the I guess
The tea
ball
party.
or the tea party, yeah. So, you know, there's so much speculation about what this all means. You know, they're trying to say that each one of the characters from the Firefly Funhouse are real people. So now that Braun has come back, that was the pig. The White Rabbit originally, the rabbit that was in there, that's Karrion Kross. Sister Abigail is Karrion's wife.
How is
And then-
Karrion Kross tied to Bray in any way, shape, or form?
This is, like I said, this is all speculation. People are putting out
I
these
need more
theories all over the
information. I
place.
need more context because
They're saying that the characters of Bray's Firehouse have come to life. They were always representative of real people's spirits, and now they finally embrace them. So now that that's happened, when he comes back, those are going to be the quote unquote the people that are in his
Faction.
stable. Yeah. So
So he's going to come back to a
I-
faction, is what everybody's speculating.
Right.
That sucks.
that's what the speculation is.
I think he needs to be by
that's
himself.
the case. I don't think that that's the case. I think that that's
That's a pretty far-fetched theory.
That is a
I think
really
that's
far-fetched
fan
theory.
mark shit. This fan made shit.
that's
you know what
like
I mean?
that's like UFOs living under the ground type shit right there.
right. Which I'm not gonna lie, that would be like a real interesting storyline to present to us on TV. And with the mind of Triple H being able to present some type of realization in there, you would be able to make it work. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think it is maybe a sign that Bray is coming back. Remember, I tell you, we always seen how the lights would flicker, how the Bray type entrance of.
I think that's
when-
definitely coming back. I think Bray's on his way for sure. It's just a matter of I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know how I mean, I guess I can maybe understand the White Rabbit thing, maybe, but the only clear sorry, one sec.
He's at another fucking birthday party.
This motherfucker goes to more birthday parties than I've ever known to be realistic in my life.
How many
sorry
people
to
do you know that they're
interrupt
that
your-
close to you that you have to go to their birthday party?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I think
you
that's
guys
his
on
daughter's,
that.
though, for Presley.
Yeah,
Unless it's
It's
her friend.
Preston.
Yeah. We'll cut
it
all
says
this.
Preston or Presley's. It says, "Man, I'm at Presley's birthday party out at the Lady A Amphitheater."
What?
Cool.
Anyway, so Kimmy, like you were saying, there was
The
a
permanent
White
guest.
Rabbit.
Okay, so the only thing that I've seen that's an actual reference to Bray is the lantern in the background of the Seth Rollins and Riddle poster. That's the only thing I've seen that's been legit.
Like an Easter egg. that
Yeah,
they
like an
put out.
Easter egg, totally.
I know, but is that even an Easter egg too, or is that
is-
just like
Who else has a lantern? Where would that come from? It's not a
Okay, so-
Halloween special.
So I'll
No?
put the question out there then. I'll put the question out there, and I'll ask each one of you individually. You can take your time in answering. Do you feel Bray's coming back? It's straight yes or no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
yeah, he's coming back. I mean, they already did vignettes showing everybody that he's ever beaten, really. Didn't they?
Really?
Oh, that was Edge. Remember?
that was
Yeah,
Edge.
that was
yeah.
Edge.
Oh, okay, I got him confused.
Yeah, 'cause
we
they-
thought
yeah.
though. I'm not gonna
That's
lie,
right.
because
That's
we
right.
did
we
discuss
were like all
that.
talking about it when it was happening.
No, that was Bray puts a lot of cryptic shit on his social media. Like he's always putting shit on his social media to where it's like, okay, you know, oh, what is that? He's coming back, or he'll say something like it's been
So
too long, or like or just something cryptic. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think it's
You
been
guys are breaking
confirmed
up on my
that
end,
he.
So forgive me.
Oh, what was that? He's frozen again.
You froze. The trials and tribulations of Skype.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's great. You can tell if it's froze too because the smoke. Oh, there it goes. It's moving again. There he is.
Okay, am I back? All right. Sorry.
Maybe it's his laptop again.
Maybe
It might be the shitty ass laptop. I should open up the new one real quick and use it just for this, right?
the one day use it the one day, just download Skype and then use it. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, so I'm really curious to see where they go with this. I personally think, I mean, that's another good question. When do you think it is the right time to pop him in and bring him back in? Is Extreme Rules the
Yesterday.
best time for him to come back?
Yesterday, man. That's the best time. ASAP, as soon as humanly possible. Because I feel like he's a huge part that's been missing. Like, even on the microphone, like he's a great storyteller, and that's what we've been clamoring for is great storytelling. And I feel like he brings that to the table. His psychology
hear me
is
out.
like
Do you
none
think-
other, right? No one else can touch him.
Do you think they put him with Seth until Cody comes back?
Seth, though? No.
Or Riddle?
Because I see Bray coming back as a heel. I don't see
He
him
should
coming
just
back
come
as a
back and
babyface.
start fucking with everybody. My
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, don't put him in one specific role with one specific person. Just like you were talking about
Make
carrying
him
Cross,
terrorize
right?
the whole roster.
Yes, exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. Just
Yeah,
start
he did-
showing up here and there randomly for everybody, and then you just never know where he's going to be or who he's going to fight, kind of a thing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? He's after the whole roster, not just one.
Yeah.
Because he's not about the championship. He's already
No.
said that. He doesn't care to want. He doesn't want the championship. He really didn't want it. And then when he did get it, they turned it into that weird fucking. I'm gonna put his face on a belt.
My
That was just
God.
the dumbest shit they ever did. So
yeah.
hopefully they just.
really tried to ruin his fucking.
That's what I'm
everything, dude.
saying, dude. That
That shit
literally.
was $3,500 for that belt, bro.
And
Bro,
It
it was
was
6,000. It was 6,000.
Oh yeah, it was 6,000.
Yeah,
6,000
over
for that
6,000.
belt. Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
was
just on
stupid.
a side note to touch a little bit about what they were saying with those different characters. The last one I forgot was the Vulture. They were saying the Vulture character was Dexter Loomis. So that's who they would,
Hypothetically, what you're saying then is there would be a faction of Bray, Braun, Karrion Kross, Dexter
His wife.
Loomis,
and Scarlet.
and Scarlett, and then you could also even tie in Alexa back into that if you wanted to.
If you wanted
And then
to, right? And I
Scarlett,
think
because Scarlett can actually wrestle. So if
And-
Scarlett and Alexa became like a tag team in that whole faction, that'd be really cool too.
Yeah, there was 2 female characters on that Firefly show.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
would
Yeah.
make sense.
The witch or whatever her name was, with the black hair.
that's
I forget her
right.
name right
and
now.
Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And Scarlett plays the witch already. I mean, if you look at her, the way she dresses on TV, she dresses freaky as fuck sometimes.
Okay, well, that theory does make a little more sense to me now than I guess.
It would just be weird
more
to
we
tie
talk
in
about
Carrion. You can almost talk yourself into it, kind of deal.
Well, I don't think he needs a faction. He's so big on his own. Everybody's he's gonna be so fucking over when he comes back, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he needs
a
a faction. Though. I don't think he needs it.
I mean, and I
One hell
did
of a
kind of like
faction.
the whole Wyatt family.
I love the Wyatt family.
You know what I mean? So
did I.
if they could bring that in the Firefly Funhouse character way, I could see that being incorporated. Because he did technically take over Alexa Bliss, right? Per that.
Yeah, for that whole time.
Yeah, so I mean, it does make sense if you're looking at it that way. You know what I mean? Dexter's already just creepy, so that
I
fits
know
right
Dexter and Bray together is.
Dude, remember I
fucking
said that
freaky.
would be the fucking program. Dexter Loomis versus Bray Wyatt.
He's
like
just
in
the guy
like,
that you just go, hey, you're the hitman. You just need to go kill that guy. Go kidnap him
Yeah.
and take him somewhere.
in. Yeah, because you could
Like-
see Bray laughing and doing his whole, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
Dexter's just in the background staring
He's like
at you
a
the whole
cult
time.
leader. Yeah, he's
Who's
a
the
fucking
pig?
psycho.
Who's the pig?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Well, they said Braun.
Yeah, Braun.
Braun
Yeah.
the pig.
Braun was the pig.
And he
When
came
he was
back better.
already with Bray, so that would make sense to tie them back together.
Yep.
Dude, and he's
Ooh, and if you
looking better than
remember-
ever.
Jacked.
Jacked.
Remember when they fought in that weird ass match in the swamp and shit?
Yeah.
Remember
him
the
and
pig came out?
Orton?
Remember the pig came out and was talking to Braun and distracted him and says, "I know who you really are," and was saying all that stuff to him. I mean, it
This
makes
would be some
sense,
long-term
bro.
storytelling if they did this, which I get. Look,
Triple H is.
Triple H can do that. I think he can go back and recall a lot of this shit.
Yep.
You know, so all I can do is keep my fingers crossed. That would be
same.
interesting to me. Karrion Kross is a tough tie-in, but they could do it. I'm sure they could figure it out.
Maybe that is who he comes back against then. And then they become
Together?
yeah.
Well, Karrion has always been I'm not going to say lackey by any means, but he's always been like the muscle
Of a
everywhere
group,
he's ever
yeah.
been, and he's a psychopath. Like everywhere he's ever been, he plays the psychopath. So
He's Killer Cross. He's really Killer Cross. That's
so what
his
if
real name is.
yeah, Killer Cross. That's what he's always been. So, dude, what if you paired him and Dexter together in that faction
As a team?
as a
Tag team, yeah.
So you got the
Yeah, you
psycho
the
muscle
scariest-
fucking Karrion Cross, and then you got the psycho killer, which that was.
I don't know. I almost think Braun needs to be a part of the tag team, if anything. I know that sounds weird, but have a big man and I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah, I see what
Dexter
you're saying.
doesn't have. Obviously, he doesn't speak, so you would need someone that has really, really good mic skills. And no,
So
Braun's not really
Karrion-
great either. I mean,
Karrion and Braun then as
I
a
don't
team.
know.
I think
Maybe.
Karrion and Dexter would work really good because they could really start. It just depends on where they want to go with Karrion. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
they're pushing
and-
him against McIntyre right now. They're
And the
gonna.
truth is, Kimmy, I'm with you. I'm not sold on Braun. You know what I mean? I'm really not sold on him. He's still kind of that goofy, clumsy guy. The Braun that I felt was the real deal was the "I'm not done with you yet" Braun.
Yeah, the one
that
that's
used to
flipping shit over
torture-
everywhere.
Yeah, the one that used to torture Roman Reigns. The one that put Roman Reigns on the gurney and threw him off the backdoor pier. That's the Braun that I want to see.
Roman was getting him over as that character too, man.
And it was great. So
Yeah.
Can you imagine that character coming back for this Roman? That would be okay, now we got someone who's gonna beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, because that was the same Braun that they tried to put up with Brock. That was the same Braun that punched Brock Lesnar in the fucking face. It was just slow down. You know what I mean? That Brock was reckless and wild, but it was constructive, if that makes sense. It was tailored for him to be that way. When he fought Bobby Lashley and ran through the damn Titantron thing and destroyed the whole set, and then got back up and said, "Oh," it was oh my god, that man is scary.
Let me ask you. So if he were to come back, I know he's been several characters, almost like Mick Foley. You know what I mean? But do you think he'll come back as something totally different?
I do.
Do you think they'll continue on the Firefly Funhouse thing? Be real?
I think there will
hope
be
not.
elements of it because every incarnation of Bray that we've seen
Has-
there's been he's been evolved into this new thing.
Right.
So there's still elements of each Bray in these new characters. So I feel like he'll come back as something else again.
Right.
But now he's got the Fiend in his back pocket. He still has the other.
And I agree with you on that, Mike, because he always calls back to the old characters.
Always.
Going back to that match that we were talking about, how
Yeah.
he was the old Bray in the chair, and then he was Firefly Funhouse crazy, just cartoon Bray, and then of course you got the Fiend. Whatever incarnation I think he comes back with, I think he's going to
even the Bray,
the
even the Bray that won the world title the first time when he feuded with Randy, that was a complete different incarnation of Bray because he had gotten away from the rocking chair and the top hat and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little.
Well, no, he still was wearing the top hat.
Well, he still had the top hat,
It was
but
a little less.
It was a little more gritty. Like he
gimmicky.
was. Yeah, he was more just like.
I would say
I
that,
don't know.
Kimmy.
He's got the whole world in his hands. That Bray.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That Bray right there was the man.
Yeah.
That in my opinion will always be top tier Bray because that Bray is the world champion.
See, to me,
Fiend, yes,
he would
good.
come back as something similar to that. In my opinion, he's going to come back something similar to that.
When he had the kids singing "The Whole World in His Hands" to John Cena.
Oh, with the voice
Dude,
modulator,
goosebumps.
yeah,
Goosebumps, bro. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that shit right now. That was by far one of the greatest promos ever. You know what I mean? Because it captured the soul of what the WWE was and just showed it that it was now Bray's universe. It wasn't the WWE universe. It was Bray's universe.
Yep.
And it set the tone to make him, it almost made him almost as big as the WWE. If that makes sense. It was like,
dude, that's just who he is though. Like there's certain characters that are going to transcend regardless. Like he could be in Hollywood today and he would fit right in and it would be great. He's one of those characters that can just capture your imagination.
The follow the buzzards, all that was just how they used to end Raw with that. Follow the buzzards and the whole lights just go off and
Zip.
It's just everything. Zip, yep. The lantern, everything about Bray. He's gold, and for them to have lost him in the first place was horrible. I knew he was going through his stuff, especially
Dude, they've
when
lost him twice.
John died.
They've lost him twice. He's left and he's come back as a different thing, and then he's left again now, and now he's going to come back again. So it's like they can't fuck this up this time.
Well, plus you got to figure in COVID was going on around that time. The second time he went away, and then the death of Brody Lee.
Well, that was the second time he's left. Now, yeah, it was the.
Well, that's all
had
around
all
the
that.
same time, though. I'm saying.
Yeah.
The COVID thing, that would have been perfect for the Fiend too, because it could have been like, you're sitting in your house and the next thing you know, there's an image and they're showing you on TV, and then you got Bray behind you on your screen or something like that. You're looking around your screen like, what the fuck, Bray? That would have been like a little cool concept if they could have did some shit like that with a real cool fan interaction of what's going on.
Let's be honest though, dude. Like, Vince was running the show at the time and fucking running his character into the ground, and then that shit happens with one of his best friends all time. So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of done here. You know what I mean? That's how I would be too.
Because I'm sure Bray's like, I've presented you like literal gold on a platter here.
Yeah, dude, and he's not being listened to.
Yeah, and you're fucking tarnishing everything I'm giving you, dude, and you're trying to change it and make it your own bullshit. Mm-hmm. Why is Alexa with me? That would have been my thing. Why are you putting Alexa with me here when there's really no... It was a very short period of time where they had that interaction, and now she's just, she's possessed.
Yeah, and she still kind of is technically. She still has her stupid
still carries the doll. Yeah.
So
now here's the deal.
Anyway,
I was cool with the interaction with Alexa. Like I always said, the cool thing about Bray's character that would have made more sense to me is him having the lantern for everybody's head that he got into, because everybody's character changed a little bit. Remember, Daniel Bryan's character changed at that time when he interacted with him. The Miz's character changed at that time when he interacted with him, and having that as like that statue to be able to say, hey, I was in there, I messed with your mind, whatever. But then the person goes away, the rivalry stops. You can always go back to it because Bray has you in that capsule of having your being always in your mind. But you don't need to play like how we did with Alexa. We didn't need to have it strung out as long as it did.
She was a foil.
Still,
she was a foil. She was a foil to Braun Strowman. That was the only reason why she ever became a part of that whole thing. And then it just, they're like, we kind of like this. We're gonna stick with this. It's like,
which was a bad idea. It was a very bad idea.
It's like, no, man, no.
The perfect Alexa was the goddess Alexa. That Alexa Bliss is your world champion. She headlined at WrestleMania. She won the title like that. She had those big epic matches. She got to fight Ronda Rousey as the goddess character because that was Alexa. Mm-hmm. That Alexa Bliss character is the one that we want. That tough, gritty.
She's lost right now, man.
Mm-hmm. She's lost, definitely.
Like I feel like she's now having to find out now in this situation who she is.
Exactly. She has
It's
to
her shit's
reinvent
wonky, right?
herself.
Even Monday night with the whole Bailey program, she's got the doll,
I love that.
and then she
And
doesn't
I
have
love
the
that.
doll. So it's like, what are we doing here? Are you?
Well, here's the deal. I love what Bailey said to her. She said, "You don't even know who you are. It's like you got a
Exactly.
lobotomy around here." And it's like, yes, preach, Bailey.
Well,
Let
yeah,
her
because she
know.
turned into, and I think like you're right, because obviously we know where Alexa started, but I think her being herself with her pink hair and all that, she's a little too gothic, dude. That's not
Yeah.
her at all. She's dressing like a punk princess,
yeah.
like fucking Liv and her are basically mirrors
The
of
same
each
per-
other.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? So it's like, why are you all gothic and punk like when that's not even your vibe? You know what I
You're
mean?
pretty.
Like you're
Yeah.
literally
You're
married
really-
to a fucking boy band type dude. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You love
Yeah.
Disneyland and you're a fucking little princess. Your fucking punk vibe doesn't match at all.
No, it's like
change
she's
it.
Well, I
playing
think
wrestler.
that's
Yeah.
I think that's all Vince.
Well,
And
Vince ain't
it's
there no
just-
more, man. So
Well,
we
well,
can
that's
stop
how
saying
that's how it started. Though.
Right.
That's how it all fucking started.
Well,
for
they
her.
turned her punk
was
when
Vince.
she got with Bray, is what I'm saying. Because then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, dress dark and
Yeah.
gothic, and now she just
which is
stayed
also
that way.
Yeah,
which
she
is-
hasn't really evolved from that character too much. It's
Yeah.
just like
Well-
she doesn't have like she hasn't whited out her face as much anymore.
Well,
Because
then
they try
they
to make
did-
her look super pale. And,
Dude, yes. And one
Yeah.
then I was going to say they did that stupid, few weeks there where she was in therapy every week, and like that
Oh,
was super
God.
fucking weird and awkward. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
What are
I
you
thought it was
trying to
gonna
turn
take
her
away the
into?
character.
yeah.
I thought the therapy was taking away the doll.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. The detachment. I mean, is the doll that big of a fucking merch product that there's just like, oh, we got to keep. If that's the case, then keep it on the shop. You don't have to promote the doll.
Yeah.
In the sense of putting it there. If the doll is a merch killer, putting it on the shop will get it sold.
Dude, how
You know
long
what I
was she gone on this last time when she left? It was
18
like
months,
WrestleMania 30. What was it? When she did the whole thing, when they did the whole thing with Randy and
With
Bray.
Bray, yeah. It was
So
like
and then she
WrestleMania-
turned her character around that time. So 37, I think it was the
Yeah,
year
so-
after COVID, right?
Right. So she was gone for about 18 months, bro. It felt like.
She was gone for a long time.
Right.
And
so,
then when they brought her back,
It was like same old same.
it's the same. Yeah, they changed her music, and that's literally the only thing that's really changed.
actually, it was probably like about nine or 10 months.
It was it was a good little while.
It was
But
a good it was a good chunk of change, but yeah, it's like, why bring her back to that? Why put her in that persona? It
Well,
doesn't
especially
work.
if Bray's not even there anymore.
right,
Except-
dude, that's my whole point. Yeah, the
Hello,
whole point
ding
basically
dong.
getting wrapped around is what you just said. Bray's not even
Hello.
there.
So why
if he's-
continue?
Why continue
Right.
that stupid shit unless you're gonna merge Bray Wyatt's character basically into Alexa, and then she becomes the female version of Bray.
Well, and
which
the
she can pull
theory-
it off, but I'm like,
But why?
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is if in backstage, Triple H or whoever's taking this direction with her character, maybe they're like, well, let's have out the hope that we will get Bray back, and we don't want to actually change her character. We want to put her back with him, so let's just like kind of stretch it out with it and this and that. And
That's a huge gamble, right?
yeah, I know, but
That's a
they're
huge
big
gamble.
mistake.
but they're at the
That's a
same
big
time they're
mistake.
like, we're WWE. Why wouldn't Bray want to come back here? Especially now that Triple H is.
That's the key
At the
right there
helm.
that you just said, because I don't think we would be seeing a ton of rumors about Bray coming back if Triple H didn't take over.
Yeah.
I don't think that he would come back under Vince's fucking
No.
authority.
Oh,
so
no, yeah,
it
nobody
only,
would.
dude, as soon as Triple H took over, we're like, oh, let's see. And it's been like boom, boom,
Everybody's
boom, boom,
coming
boom.
back, dude.
Everybody.
Like, everybody wants to come back now because
Right.
everybody that's worked under him has been like, this motherfucker's the real deal.
It's like, so I
Right,
get
he's
to work
gonna make
under
me a star.
Well, it's like I get to work under Triple H with WWE money and WWE press
Sign me up.
all the way up to the fourth floor, right, AJ?
All the way to the fourth floor, baby.
The fourth.
Oh my god.
Nice.
But
Not
no,
the penthouse, the fourth.
Yeah.
The fourth.
Anyway.
No, but and that's see what it was at one point. It was always the nostalgia of working for the World Wrestling Entertainment Company with Vince McMahon at the helm, because it was just the nostalgia of it. It was always like Vince was the god, but we have to understand, with the times have changed, with the way things have changed, and Vince is just, he even says this himself, he got out of touch. Look at that whole stint during the 90s. There was a time when it was just like, bro, if you give me this garbage man versus dumpster and the clown comes in to interfere, I'm not watching this bullshit. You know what I mean?
That's what it was basically becoming again.
Right.
Like
Yep.
more recently until he left. Like that whole year before he actually left, dude, was like, what are we doing, dude? What the fuck is going on?
And honestly, I'm just going to throw it out there, not to like maybe to discount AEW a little bit. I don't think AEW would have been as hot if Vince wasn't fucking it up so bad.
Oh, yeah, because
Very
they were
true.
Vince was making folks change the channel.
Dude, yeah.
Yes.
Like, and so we're
Like-
like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go watch AEW because fuck whatever Vince has got going on right now. So it wasn't necessarily that AEW was like the best. It was just like such a good
The
alternative.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
pro
I mean?
wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I can actually watch some matches and stuff. But
Yeah.
now
Right.
AEW has turned into such a fucking joke, and they're just doing such weird shit all the time, just a mishmash. The matches are fucking sloppy. People are getting hurt all the time.
Mainly
what
the
I'm saying?
Oh,
women's,
speaking
I
of
feel,
which,
are
speaking of which,
sloppy.
getting
Yeah.
hurt.
I was going to say, we can
Women's matches.
segue right into AEW.
Let's do it.
Yeah, what happened with this girl, Penelope Ford? My God, our thoughts and prayers go out to you, right? Was that who fell?
What?
Or was it Anna? Who fell back and hit their head backwards on
He's
the
wrong
damn
on all the
concrete?
accounts. No, it was the gal from the Varsity Blondes that's now with the House of Black.
Yeah.
I don't remember her damn name. But
It wasn't Penelope.
It's not
Ford, I'm
Penelope.
sorry.
No,
Oh, but
No,
yeah,
or
Annabelle.
J-
Annabelle,
J.
I think her name is.
no,
No.
no.
Why don't
Oh.
we look it up and then we can start that whole little segment over? So we
Yeah,
don't
go
sound
ahead.
just
You brought it
totally
up.
uneducated.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was. Her last name's Hart. Julia Hart. Is that it?
Julia
yeah,
Hart,
I
that's
think,
it right
yeah,
there.
you're right.
All right. So yeah, shout outs to Julia Hart this week, who missed the damn table, fell backwards, hit her head on the concrete, the railing, and
Dude.
a fan.
They got to
They
chill,
said that
man.
They said she suffered a mild concussion, that she was
Mild.
all right
She's lucky if she's got a mild. She hit the back of her head on the fucking concrete
on the
from
concrete,
the
and then
apron.
yeah, and the that's what do they use? They use the bike racks, right? That's what their
Yeah, yeah.
things are.
The rails.
So yeah, she's just another clear example of what you just touched on, Kimmy. AEW's lack of care of safety for the performers. I am sorry. Yes, we want to see the cool, crazy shit, but safely done. I'd rather you fall to the floor, just a regular back bump, than doing a crazy spot that ends your career.
Well, she
your life.
totally like way overshot the table
Way
too. Like
overjumped it.
she jumped backwards and completely missed the table. Like her ass, like her tailbone to her ass hit the table, and then blooms flat backed right on the fucking
Yep.
concrete. So yeah, dude,
They're just being careless.
careless and reckless.
And
dude.
it's almost like because they're planning everything so last minute. All right, go, go, go. It's
Yeah.
like there's no, the storylines aren't connecting properly like they
What
used to.
storyline? Yeah,
That's what
they-
I'm saying.
yeah,
So they've, I mean, ever since Cody left, we can all say that. You know what I mean? Ever since
Yep.
Cody left and Tony took fucking the reins of everything and just stripped every one of their fucking rights, basically.
zero consistency.
Zero consistency. It's
Yep.
just been a mess. And so I think that's why even when they're doing spots like that, it's not being done properly because they've not planned it. They've not practiced it in
Yeah.
any way or tried to, you know what I mean? Like run it
I mean,
through the ring maybe
how-
once or twice or
Yeah.
whatever. I know you're not going to take maybe necessarily a practice table spot, but at least practice like how far you need to jump and like,
Yeah, put a crash
Definitely.
pad
How hard
down.
is it to get
Dude.
a crash pad? Exactly. Get a crash pad
Well,
down there. Do that shit like 4 times in a row. Make sure
Yeah.
you know your distance.
yes.
And call it a day.
Hey,
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing with that is a lot of those wrestlers in AEW don't have the ring experience that most of the people in WWE have too. If you think about it,
No, they're
a lot of them
younger,
are like
yeah.
2, 3, 5 years, 6 years. You know,
Doing too much.
doing stuff on the indies
Doing
like that
too
because
much.
Yeah,
Doing too
that's the
much.
thing, dude. Well, nowadays, because even like going back to like Noelle Foley, we all know who that is, right? That's Mick's daughter.
Of course. She
On
wants to do
Foley, the Foley show that they were doing for a while, where she was like, "Well, I want to be trained to be a pro wrestler. I think I want to try it." And then she gets in there and she's like, "Okay, well, what about this move? And what about my finisher move?" And they're like, "Bitch, you don't even know how to do a headlock. You don't even know how to
Right.
tie up. Like, you don't even literally know how to run the ropes. How about let's do all that first, then we'll figure out moves going on top of that." So I think that's the mentality. Is like, ooh, I want to do a backflip. Ooh, I want to do the fucking stunner. whatever it is. You know what I mean? They don't think about.
They're looking at
it's
the
more
grandeur.
Yeah, they're not looking to put the work in to actually get good, technically and
Right.
become a student
And
of the
that's
game and learn your craft so you don't fucking kill somebody.
Definitely. It's like, oh, I can do a backflip, so I'm going to start working on my backflips and this and that.
It's like,
bro,
how about run the ropes first, dude?
yeah,
How about tie up first?
Yeah,
How
give me
about
a
blow
tie up
up
and a headlock.
first?
How about some chain wrestling here? How about we set up your spot, not just go to your spot?
Yeah.
And
That's the thing with the indie part that kills me. That's the part of AEW I don't like, is the fact that it is so indie-rific that nobody sells anything. It's all go, go, go. It's all crash, man.
Plus, they
It's
really
trash.
they really do it differently on the indies. They want to see more
Well, it's all gaga,
like high spots,
Right.
more fucking like crazy, cringy fucking shit you don't normally see on TV.
Yeah.
Right. Indies are talent shows.
Nasty shit
That's
too.
what we used to call them back in the day. We call them talent shows because nobody really follows your storyline on the indies unless you have your
Yeah.
hardcore core fans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless
because
you're
you're
like
probably
an
going to
ECW.
like 50 different places and
Right.
in like
Exactly.
a month.
Well,
and
plus
shit
you're
like
only
that.
having like maybe one show a month
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's hard to
And-
keep
and-
that story consistent from the last
Right.
show.
And you want to just go out there and put on your best performance so that you can get seen by someone in AEW or Ring of Honor or, a representative for one of the promotions where it's like, okay, yeah, now I'm going to be involved into a more intricate storytelling line. They see that I can get in here and wrestle and move. Now they want to see if I can tell the story. That's really where the difference is between the indies and a major network show, and that's in my opinion what Tony Khan is forgetting. Indies is a showcase of your talents.
It's
to
like a
be able to-
WrestleMania, dude, to them.
Plus, he's a
Right.
fan. He's still a fan. He
Well, and
treats
I
it
think,
like a fan.
I think
feel.
too. So a lot of the older wrestlers will tell you that. So like they had the ABC shows, right? So you have your A towns, your B towns, your C towns. When you're in a C town, you're not doing that crazy shit that you're going to be doing on a SummerSlam. You know what I mean? You have a very
Exactly.
basic match where you're going to be safe. You're not going to get hurt, but you're still going to put on a decent match.
Yeah. Plus, you guys think about, I still got to work Monday.
Yeah, so they're
Or Friday.
like work smarter, not harder, and you can do that in pro wrestling and still tell the stories and slow it down. People are still going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get the crowd up and down. It's not that difficult. But when you're in a C town and you got some fucking TLC matches happening, no.
Yeah,
and
like,
that's
what
what
the hell are you
AEW
doing?
does. AEW does that where it's like there's really nothing going on. So hey, to spark up the show, let's do a fucking a death drop match. I don't know,
Yeah,
some
just
stupid,
something stupid.
just something that doesn't make sense. And
Well, and just to tie all those pieces of string together, I think if you're going to have an indie type talent show, right? If you're not going to have a storyline, the match has to be good.
really good.
It has to be technically sound and it has to be safe, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing, dude. It's not only are we not getting storylines and we're getting thrown together matches, the matches are sloppy, dude. So it's like we're not
Right.
getting any aspect. We're not getting a story. We're not getting a good match. There's nothing about it that's fucking good. And we're worried. And then with the return
Dude, I was just about to say that's
of
what scares
Soraya,
me.
dude,
Yeah.
bitch, not even medically cleared, as far as
Yeah,
we all
you don't
know.
need to
Not
be-
WWE medically cleared.
Well,
they
that's
won't clear,
that's
you know?
that is the key right there. The WWE has higher fucking medical safety standards than AEW, and they're all about give me that pop right now, give me that instant gratification right now, and that's why we've been saying they just keep hiring all these people just to get the pop, but it's like then they're not doing anything with these
At
people.
what point does this become just numb now? Like Paige comes out, because when she came out, I was like, oh,
Oh, like okay.
Exactly.
My
What's the
immediately
point?
reaction was like, this bitch is gonna die
Yeah, dude.
in this fucking ring if
I'm
she
like,
tries
oh,
to
it's
wrestle.
Gonna die.
Like, how about you got multiple fucking screws in your neck? We're good, okay?
yeah, you're
well,
good.
and
You
here's
got-
a perfect example, bro. And this is, I'm just gonna go on this little tangent right now because I brought this up this week. Ty Mello, good fucking wrestler. She's got pretty good fucking talent, but she's become nothing more than a manager ever since she got with fucking Sammy, dude.
yeah, they just kind of stripped her of all of her wrestling duties.
Yeah, they just put her in, like, stupid little outfits, and she's always licking his fucking face and shit, like, constantly. I don't need to
sucking
know anything
tongue.
about what's going on in your fucking sex life. Go do that shit in private. How about put her in an actual wrestling match and let this bitch wrestle, and don't bring back people that are literally maybe 2.5 seconds away from paralyzation
Real
to try
talk.
to get, like, I don't know, like ratings on your show,
A boost,
and then
yeah,
put
that's all it
put
is.
Ty Mello in actual fucking wrestling matches because she's actually good.
And she needs to get better, which means she needs more reps. So
Right.
she needs to be working.
Yeah, dude.
She's
You know.
a damn near fucking what, black belt jiu-jitsu
She is
girl?
black belt jiu-jitsu, I believe.
Dude, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. To
so,
me,
like-
she was entertaining as a wrestler, and then they yanked her out of that spot and put her as the fucking side piece, basically, to fucking Sammy, and it's really annoying and disrespectful to her. That she's just
tough,
like, it's
man.
fine. Oh, it's so fucking irritating.
And she is a tough girl, man. And you know what? You're right, Kimmy. If they like Edge and Lita when they were still
cheapens
doing
her, dude.
when they were doing their little Edge and Lita thing going on, Lita was still wrestling. Lita was the damn women's champion.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Like, let her be hot and independent on her own. She doesn't just have to be at Sammy's side at all fucking times, dressed
Well,
in her
dude,
little outfits.
What was that? Was it Cam that sent the message, or was it you, AJ? I don't remember who it was in the group, where it was like, there was this many minutes set aside for women's wrestling in WWE, and then for the week, and then over here on AEW for the entire week, it was like 20 minutes out of a 3-hour program. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not featuring anybody, any of your females, and it's like, granted, they need help, man, because their women's division is not that great, but you still need to represent that, man. You still need to get them out there. They still need to get the reps. They have to be able to get out there and learn.
Here's the thing, though.
They're
Their
never gonna
women's
learn if they
division
don't do
is
it.
fucking great. Their women's division is great. Dude, look
It's
at
gotten
Jade.
so much better now. Yeah, for sure.
Their top women are fucking really, really good, dude. And if they give people like Ty an opportunity to go in there and get matches in and be seen, instead of just putting them on the back burner, it makes no fucking... Then yeah, your women's division's going to die because you're not highlighting your women talent in the way that they should be, which is legitimately, not as a fucking joke.
Definitely. Yeah, that's why I was reading an article recently. What is it, Athena? She's thinking that she's going to get lost in the shuffle with
She already has.
AEW. And yeah, she already has. You know, they have put themselves in a position to where, and Kimmy, I'm just going to quote you, you know, they've created this homeless shelter of wrestlers that come one, come all, we have a spot for you, we have a bed for you, we have a hot meal for you, you know what I mean? And it's like, you get there and you're like, oh my God, this is like, everybody's here. This is ridiculous. How am I going to be featured when everybody... Where's Miro? We saw him. Where are you at? Where are you at, Miro? You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
He wants out.
I would want out too if I was
He wants
him.
out. That's why you haven't seen him. He wants out. Malachi wants out. Fucking
Shit, I
Andrade
want
wants
out.
out. All these folks want out of their contracts. And now the question for me is like, okay, does Tony Khan become Lucha Underground 2.0, where Lucha
my
Underground
God.
had these guys sign contracts and then basically held them hostage? Like,
Yep.
they signed
They
like a
going
4-year
nowhere.
contract, but then the show basically...
Tanked.
It kind of died, but they were still under contract, and they're like, hey, motherfucker, you're telling me I can't go to work, but you have no work for me here. You can't, and you're not paying me anything.
You're
So
not paying me, yeah.
yeah, so they ended up going to court and fighting that, and they won. The
Well,
wrestlers
yeah, I
did.
would imagine they would because that's fucking bullshit, dude.
But dude, there was wrestlers on those contracts for years.
Well, and it makes you think back to that Tony Khan interview that we were talking about where he's like, they're under contract. No one's going anywhere. But like
Right.
totally unsolicited. It's like,
Yeah, dude, like he's almost threatening, like, I'm not letting anybody go.
it kind of is the vibe, to be honest. I mean, literally,
Right?
though, that's kind of the vibe that it was throwing off. Almost like they're under contract. You're not leaving anywhere. They're going anywhere.
Yeah, dude.
But what's the point of holding on to talent when you're not even going to use them, though? Just
and
like
especially if
literally,
they're unhappy.
yeah.
That's
Like,
toxic,
hey,
man.
I'm not putting you on TV and you want to leave, but no, you have to stay. For what? You're not even using me.
Yeah.
Like, that's the dumbest shit of all time. And we've already talked about it. They have too many fucking wrestlers, and that's why. Hey, Tony Khan, if you're listening, make Ring of Honor its own show like you said you were going to do and highlight their talent there and put our main fucking roster folks back on the main fucking roster and give them the time and attention they deserve.
How
Thank
long
you.
has he owned them now?
Preach, Kimmy. And but before you answer that question, Kimmy, you damn sure right. You just put the title on motherfucking Chris Jericho, bro. You just gave the Ring of Honor the most street cred they've ever had, legitimately, on the main showcase.
Well, that
Okay.
as far as a talent on that level, nobody's ever won the Ring of Honor title that's on that level.
On that level, correct?
Right,
You
because
know what I
we've
mean? That's
had
like putting
the who's have been Ring of Honor
But
champ,
that's like putting
but they're
like putting it on,
before
like
they're
Shawn
made.
Michaels or Bret Hart. You know, if you had one of those names in there, if you
Yeah.
had like a Bret Hart as the world champ, or Shawn Michaels as the world champ,
Mm-hmm.
and Undertaker as the world champ. You know what I mean? A Brock, something like that. That's put legitimacy.
See, and you can put Jericho with all those names, and that's why what you're saying fits. Yeah.
Exactly. The same thing with New Japan's world title. You know what I mean? Brock won that. Hogan won that.
Kurt Angle, all of them. Yeah.
Kurt Angle, all of them. AJ. That shit's got motherfucking street cred. You know, Ring of Honor always was like that little bro who just was like never was able to.
Ring
say,
of
hey,
Honor
I'm
was
just
the
as
next step. Ring of Honor was like, okay, if you're in Ring of Honor, you're primed to go on live TV anywhere in the world.
And that's fine.
Right.
We need those transitional fucking
exactly
companies.
And
you know what I mean?
That's why I'm saying you're right, Kimmy. You're right. Yeah. Where is that Ring of Honor love that us wrestling fans, who are the same wrestling fans that watch AEW hardcore, look at Ring of Honor as that prestige jewel?
Hey, by the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's no different than NXT versus WWE. Like,
exactly.
I like you want to throw an NXT guy at me on the main roster every once in a while. Fine, great. But if I were to start getting an influx of just all NXT talent all the time, and I never got to see my WWE talent, I'd be fucking pissed. And that's kind of what's happening to AEW. I'm seeing everybody else besides the people I want to fucking see.
Yeah.
Who should be on your main roster, who are your main fucking talent.
The pillars.
Yes.
The pillars,
anyway.
Right. Definitely.
Yes, go ahead.
And the pillars are not being showcased in the right form because you've got and then this fucking dark shit. That's a whole nother fucking
Yeah, it's
problem.
4 hours.
You know, you
It's
got
like 4 hours
of
on a Monday
YouTube
night.
show.
You know what? I'm
Right.
actually
Well, it's a
just-
YouTube show. It's not on Prime TV, so you can watch it
But
whenever
that's
the
what
fuck you want.
But that's where you're
Really?
putting all your talent. You're not showcasing them on the main stage.
Yeah, it needs
You're
to be the
putting-
exact opposite, AJ. They need to put everyone
Yes.
else that they don't give a fuck about on dark, put all the Ring of Honor people on dark, and put everyone else in the fucking light.
Thank
God.
you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Tony Khan? Man, I really want to just smack you sometimes, TK, because you just don't make any damn sense on how you pace your show. We've said this
There is no pacing, dude.
time and time again. Presentation and the pacement of the show makes or breaks it.
Well,
Your
dude, this whole
presentation is horrible.
the whole fucking Grand Slam shit that they're doing in the
Yes.
Arthur Ashe Stadium, basically, they did not sell that crowd out, by the way. Because Tony Khan's like, oh, in a sold out Arthur Ashe Stadium, somebody on social media was just peering around, dude, and the whole like
Upper deck.
quarter of the whole quarter of the stadium is empty from the top down.
And
So it's
Arthur
like,
Ashe only seats like maybe 20,000 people, if
Exactly.
that, maybe 18.
and this is supposed to be one of your bigger shows of the year. You know
I mean,
what I'm
I've been there
saying?
many
And
times in
and it's
Queens.
New York, which is
Yeah,
a
you're in
wrestling
Queens.
fucking territory. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You
So
could
if you
take the
can't fill
train.
that show out, there's a problem. You know?
Right.
And dude, to me personally, all the finishes sucked. Mm-hmm. All the finishes were not good. The only match to me that I thought was good from bell to bell was the world title match, which rightfully so. It's Bryan Danielson and Moxley. You know,
Right.
they could fuck around and have a good match and not even try.
I'm
but-
not gonna lie, I like the tag team title match, but go ahead, finish.
Okay, I like the tag team title change. Didn't care so much for the match. The match was good. They had the fucking crowd all the way up to the point
That's why I
where
like the
where
match.
they went to go hit their finish, and apparently, like you said, AJ, I didn't even realize this. Somebody pushed Max Caster off the
It
ropes,
swerved.
and that's why when he landed on his knee, because remember, we didn't see that.
Yeah.
We just seen him
Yeah.
drop down, and then he's like holding his knee, and we're like, well, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, we thought for real he
if you
done
go
fucked
back,
up.
if you go back and watch it, you see Swerve in the corner, on the floor. You see Swerve down on the floor, and another fan, showed him grabbing at his knee before he jumped.
Yeah, but see, a fan showed that, not the actual
Yeah.
television program.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
come on,
and
this is your damn
regardless
show.
of that, here's my thing. Okay, that moment right there should have been the moment. They should have hit their finish, won the match right there. The crowd was ready for it. They had him in the palm of their hand, dude. As soon as he jumped down and tweaked his knee or whatever, the crowd was fucking dead, and they never got the
Yeah.
crowd back
Yeah.
until the fucking pinfall.
Well, because
You
it
know what
was,
I mean?
like you said, so confusing what even happened. Like, they didn't make it apparent to the audience watching. None of the announcers mentioned, oh, so-and-so reached
Nothing.
hers and he fell weird or whatever. Like, they didn't
Yeah.
even
He just said the
consider
knee.
it.
He just said the knee went out. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
but for
But what
for
happened?
why?
What did he
yeah.
do? Because he jumped weird? What, he jumped and his knee popped?
I mean, which
that,
could
that
happen.
was what I thought.
It could happen, but
It
then
could.
it needs to be the way they finished it. Yeah, it was super weird because then you're like, well, if he doesn't sell the knee,
And he didn't.
Right.
And he didn't.
Right.
And I was like, well, that was fucking stupid.
And
that was the
pointless.
dumbest shit and the most pointless shit I've ever seen. And it took me out of the match.
Yeah.
Because all the way up to that point, I was in it. I
Right.
was in the match, dude. They had me 100%.
And then that happens, and
and
you're
it was
kind of
a-
like, wait, what's happening? What's going
Yeah.
on? Is he
You
hurt?
got a
Is he not?
hot-ass New York crowd. You had
Yeah.
a hot-ass New York crowd ready for that shit, bro.
Yeah, they
The old scissor me daddy chant and everything. It was
now, is that nitpicking? Probably. You know.
Yeah, but
However,
that's what
dude,
we're here to do, right?
that was my feeling.
Thank
I
you,
was
Jimmy.
like, it took me out of the match to the point where I was like, I don't even care.
Well, how
I don't
did they-
care who wins or
Seriously?
loses at this point. Yeah, I don't care.
Wow. Damn,
It was
I didn't
dumb.
feel
It
that
was
way.
pointless. Homeboy came back in. He didn't even sell his leg. They did the whole thing. It was clunky as fuck. But that right there, what I explained, pretty much was the whole show in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. The whole fucking show was that way. The women's match I thought was not good at all. By the way,
I didn't see that. I didn't take a look at that one.
it just
got as
wasn't
far as I
good.
did.
I'm glad Tony Storm retained. Britt Baker could have won, and if they're bringing Saraya back because she came back at the end of that match, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
She shouldn't be wrestling. I'm sorry, Paige or
Dude.
Saraya. Just go home.
I'm literally
I mean,
scared to watch her in the ring. Like I
Dude.
don't really want to even watch her wrestle
or
because
how about you just make her the head of the women's division? Hey, I'm here because I'm going to be running the. I would like that.
she's like a
now.
commissioner type of
GM
thing.
Yeah, GM Page was cool because when she was doing that type of, and plus it gives legitimacy. At some point she can like hit a bitch or something like that. You know, Jade tries to get out of hand. That's a cool visual of having an authority figure to try to keep Jade in check.
But
We're not
here's the
talking
thing
about
that I guess we don't know her role yet. They haven't really said, because when she was in the ring, she's all like, "This is my ring, doing that whole shit, and it's like, well, and she was even almost like, "Come on, bring it on," type of shit, you know. And when
No,
she
we
came
can't
out,
go.
dude, I'm like, she looks really frail. She looks
Yeah.
like she's gonna break, and I'm not being disrespectful. It's just like that's
She's
just
been out
what
of it for how many years, though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dude, and she just
So
looks like
just-
she's gonna get hurt.
Just put her in that situation with Julia Hart. What if that was her?
No, dude.
That would have been the end of her life right there. She
Maybe.
might have broken her neck and died, bro.
Maybe.
Well, didn't you send a text saying she was cleared?
No,
No,
there's.
no.
Yeah,
Or
go
was-
ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw something about she was actually cleared.
I know WWE would not clear her.
No.
Like, they absolutely would not clear her. So now that she's leaving there, AEW's like, yeah, like you said, Kimmy, yeah, come on in. Fuck it. Paralyze yourself. We don't give a shit. It's just going to draw a rating on our show.
Yeah, exactly. But you're already not even highlighting the talent you already have on your fucking roster. Why add another?
Yeah. Just keep adding more and more and more at some point.
Well, and dude, I mean, let's give Saraya credit where credit is due. She's good on the mic and cutting promos and
She's
shit
great,
like that.
yeah.
So if you were bringing her back in a managerial type role, have that bitch come out and cut a fucking promo on those bitches. Like, you bitches don't know what the fuck, and blah, I'm gonna whip you into shape kind of a situation, right?
Yeah, right off the bat.
Right off the fucking bat.
Because
Give
now
me,
we know why she's here.
yes, give me the
we get it.
determination right now what she's doing. It doesn't need to be like, oh, is this bitch about to kill herself? Because I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, AEW's like, oh, cliffhanger. They'll do like 6 cliffhangers in one fucking show. And then they're like, okay, you remember that cliffhanger? No, I don't, because there's so many of them now, it's mind-numbing.
Well, and
Like,
they're also pointless. They do cliffhangers when cliffhangers aren't even necessary.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So going back to the article that you were referring to, Mr. B, it was on Web is Jericho, so you know it's always legitimate. We shout out to you, Web is Jericho, in that response. But it's just the tweet that she sent out on September 23rd, 2022, in regards to the fans, stating that she was unclear. She says, and I quote, "Ignore the dirt sheet clickbait. See y'all Wednesday. Hashtag AEW Dynamite."
Yeah, so it's
See
kind
there
of giving
from
the
that.
vibe like she's coming to wrestle.
Right, like she's
That's
coming
scary.
here,
It's been
she wants
since
to wrestle,
2017.
and that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Say it
that's,
again?
that's
Yeah,
scary.
she hasn't wrestled since 2017. Yeah.
She hasn't wrestled
So-
since then.
So we'll see what that all goes out to. Here's what I'm saying. Don't, as a person who knows coming back from an injury, don't put yourself in a position to where you're going to make things worse for yourself. You put yourself in a position to how you have longevity with the cards you are now being dealt. For that being said, if she's not medically cleared in a sense that makes sense for her to understand, hey, I still could put myself in jeopardy. If there's super limitations on what you're supposed to be doing, you've got to have a reality check with yourself, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard for people to say, "Hey, I can't do this anymore." Ric Flair. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard for people to say that.
Dude, and we've
But
definitely seen people come back from injury, right? Edge never thought he'd be
Edge,
back. Brian Danielson
right.
never thought he'd be back. You know
But
what I'm
like you
saying?
said,
So
the level of clarity though, like you said, Kimmy, that level in which they got cleared on was at a way higher standard. We may shit on Vince, but Vince cares about his employees, bro. That's one thing he definitely did. And when Mick got thrown off Hell in a Cell, all that shit, he was like, bro, don't you ever do that again. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So one thing we can say that tradition with the WWE is still at a higher standard. I don't think it's the same in AEW.
well, and here's the thing. I personally, as a true wrestling fan, I want to be entertained, but I don't want to be on the edge of my seat thinking someone's going to be actually fucking hurt at any moment. I don't like that feeling. It's almost like Mom, where she's like, I can't fucking watch this, because it's like, it's too much watching you almost fucking like paralyze yourself because your neck was like, you know, in an eighth off of a position in which you could have
All
been
because
so
you're
up.
doing shit that you don't know how to do. And like, dude, going back to fucking why can't I think of his name? Ridge Holland, when he fucking tried to throw Big E and broke his neck. Bro, you got zero wrestling experience, like legit real wrestling or judo or any of that. You have no business trying to throw people around like that.
And now they want to put Soraya Lee in a ring with a bunch of indies, like fucking Mr. B was saying.
Bro, she's gonna get so. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
like,
literally scared for her.
I know.
Dude.
That's what I mean.
Like,
so
I'm
I don't
getting
even want to
anxiety
watch
thinking
it.
about it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Look at that match that with the crazy match the hardcore chicks had with Beth and not Beth. I'm sorry, with Britt. Remember the crazy blood match that she was all bleeding in her face, Britt Baker, and all that shit. You can't put Saraya in a match like that. No hardcore shit, jumping off ladders, going through tables.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can do it. It just has to be with somebody that you know is not going to hurt her. And they don't have a lot of those in AEW right now, dude. Even Jade, to her credit, Jade is very stiff, dude.
Oh yeah.
But again, she's that's who Jade is. But she's still green. She's still new. You know what I mean?
That's why she's in the mid card fucking position.
And that's good. They're building Jade the right way. Like they got a superstar. They need to build her the right way. Let her kind of do her thing, highlight what she can do, play the hits, and then go home until she can figure it the fuck out and get better.
Could you imagine her trying to take Athena's move or something like that? Like,
not even that, dude. Not even that. It's picture her with like Nyla or fucking picture her with I'm trying to think of who, dude. There's so many stiff chicks. How about the chick that tries to knee the ladies' heads off? Like she does like the fucking drop kick where they're down. Oh, I think that's NXT.
Well, what about Thunder Rosa? Imagine her with Thunder. Jesus. Thunder Rosa is super sandbag ass and stiff and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ladies on that roster that, yeah, they could be good matches, but there's also, like, they're super green. Like, she tries to have something with Penelope Ford or Anna Jay or, you know, these still girls who are still kind of,
they can't wrestle.
Iffy.
They're not there yet. No, they're not even iffy.
Yeah.
They're not ready. They're not ready to be on television. They got these people on TV that have no business being there, and I'm sorry. Yes, you can get reps and you can have them highlight every once in a while, dude. But I'm sorry, you cannot keep putting these people on television that just don't. It's sloppy. It looks like shit. Well,
and it was almost like Bianca. She's gotten way, 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 way better. But remember, we were watching that match, and it's like you can tell she's like, okay, stop here, move here, turn, all right, moving.
Yeah,
like,
it's a dance.
Literally, but you could see her thinking about
steps.
it. Yeah.
Right, you see her steps, yeah. It's not fluid.
And that's kind of what was happening. Dude, even with Jade's match the other day, she got thrown into the middle of the, or got thrown into the turnbuckles, basically. And then she stepped out and almost waited to get kicked and then threw herself back into the turnbuckle. It was like, okay, well, you knew that was coming. You could see you waiting for the fucking, you know what I mean? So it was just, the fluidity of their matches is fucking terrible.
Can I go through the women's roster real quick for AEW?
Oh boy, how much time do we have? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go really quick, but I just want you guys to, in your mind, keep track of how many that you feel like are at the top of the division or should be. Okay?
Out of your list, everybody take 5 who you feel are the strongest. Go.
4, 5, whatever, 3, whatever you want. All right, Abaddon, Anna Jay, AQA, Athena, Britt Baker, Bunny, Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, Jade, Jamie Hayter, Kira Hogan, Chris Statlander, who's hurt, Layla Gray, Leva Bates, Layla Hirsch, who's also hurt, Madison Rain, Mercedes Martinez, Nyla Rose, Paige Van Zant, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hurt, Riho, Ruby Soho, Serena Deeb, Tay Mello, Thunder Rosa, Hurt, Toni Storm, and Yuka Sasazaki. I probably butchered that name. But out of those names I just said, who are like the top 3 or 4 that come to your mind that are like, yep, those are the ones that should be in that top role to kind of lead the division and mentor, teach, that whole thing?
So I forgot 50% of your list already.
Well, yeah, because you don't know any of them. Who the fuck are they?
Who the fuck is
I got
AQA?
4.
You got 4?
I got 4.
Who are they?
Britt Baker.
Okay.
Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Britt Baker, Jade, Storm.
Toni Storm.
And
Mm-hmm.
fuck, I forgot the 4th one.
See?
I'm thinking. I had 4 though.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it just goes to show you, it's like, who in the fuck is leading this division? Who is the leader in the women's locker room that's going, hey, we need to tighten our fucking shit up. We need to make sure we're doing this. Taking them to the side. I would say Serena Deeb probably number 1.
Yeah, definitely. That's
I would
who
say
came to my
Serena
mind
Deeb is
first.
probably like the top women's wrestler on their fucking roster right now. And she can actually train and do all the things.
She's the best overall worker.
Britt Baker, who I don't think her work is like 100%
No, her shit's
solid.
sloppy.
However, she's a great character. Like, she's got that shit down, and she can work on in the ring in the meantime.
Exactly.
Jade is an upcoming star. Can't wrestle worth a shit yet. She's still working on it, but she's a superstar, right? She cannot. But she can't lead a match. Who in here can lead a match? Maybe Athena. Maybe Toni Storm.
Athena,
Ruby?
Serena.
I thought Ruby. Ruby was the one that I thought she can actually wrestle, but they're just not giving her the opportunity.
where is she?
Same thing with her. Yeah, they brought her in and nowhere to be found. And she's probably one of the
and
best.
she was hot as fuck when she first came in too.
Yeah, she was.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fans wanted to see her. You know what I mean? Like, she was doing great. She
Built-in
had the
storyline from WWE
She
too.
had the perfect attitude, and then even the background story of like her song and like everything about that whole little package was amazing. And then
She
they
was
just
ready to be made.
same thing. They're like, we don't know what to do with you. Put you with a group of dudes. You're lost now.
Yeah, now you're an intergender tag team.
Literally the dumbest shit ever when she has the caliber and capacity to be the fucking champ. You know what I mean? And she's one of those punk girls that makes sense. You know what I mean? Anyway.
But the women that they're highlighting on their television program, dude, literally can't lead a match. They just can't. I'm sorry, they can't. I'm not being disrespectful, but it is what it is. And that's just my take on women.
Yeah,
on
go
the
ahead
women's
and put Soraya in
AEW.
there, and so you know.
Yeah, I'm. Oh my
You know,
God,
and
dude,
here's
I'm
my
so
thing.
nervous.
I know that
Statlander.
part of it has to also be Statlander. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
I do
my-
like
But she's hurt.
Statlander.
But
She's
Exactly.
hurt, yeah.
She stays
I'm just
hurt.
saying, she's on there because she can go.
She definitely
But
can.
you
She
know
can
why
go in
she's
the
hurt?
ring,
Because
she can
she's
do a
working with girls
story.
that don't know how to wrestle.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and Tony Khan's like, hey, I'm going to put you in the ring with this
And
this
this
rookie
is her
bitch.
second time too.
Yeah,
The first time was what?
I think
ACL.
I think this is like her third time actually,
Or
because
knee- it was some
she
kind of
got
knee
hurt,
injury, I
she
think.
came back, then she tore her knee, then she came back, and now she's fucking out again for whatever reason. But dude, that's my thing. Yeah, like you said, Kimmy, they're taking the veterans and they're putting them with these people that have no fucking business being in the ring, and the veterans are getting hurt.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
maybe
but that's
take
not
the
the way to
veterans
do it.
and before you introduce these new characters or bring them up from Ring of Honor, even though Ring of Honor doesn't even exist, which it should. Yeah, like they need more experience with each other. That way you're not having someone that's this high caliber basically getting hurt because they're trusting in you to do the right thing, but you don't know what the fuck the right thing is.
Then you dump them on their head.
Yeah.
And then they're fucking hurt.
And they're doing too much. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to do too complicated of moves. Like back to the basics is where you need to be, back in the fucking,
Yeah.
the B show, the C show, whatever.
Yep. Dark, Elevation, all those, the ones that are on YouTube.
Because those
are
matches
the
don't
rooms.
need to be fucking high flying,
No.
super. They just need to be technically good and sound.
Well, dude, that's why even like Jade on Dynamite, was it Dynamite or Rampage? Anyway, she was wrestling Diamante or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
And she did the cross body from the apron to the floor on Jade, and Jade caught her. Dude, Jade damn near. I thought Jade was hurt for real.
I literally did too, because the way she was grabbing her leg.
Yeah, and she
it's
was like
she
limping
stumbled
real
and-
hard, like almost like she just wasn't ready for it or something.
Yeah.
But like, you don't need to be doing that shit. I'm
Totally.
sorry. You can highlight her strength by doing that in the ring.
Totally.
She could do a flying crossbody, come and like just running the ropes and dive at you. Boom, she catches her. Just as impressive looking, in my opinion.
But
you know?
because, and it's no different than Bianca always picking multiple people up and doing this strong woman thing. But I'm like, at a certain point, bitch, I can see your legs shaking out from under you. You're not as, you know what I mean? Like, you picked up Otis that one time, and they're like, she's the strong bitch. It's like, yeah, but I don't need to see that every fucking week in different iterations where she actually doesn't look that strong. She actually looks kind of weak because you're making her do too fucking much for her ability.
How many times did Dewdrop have to, like, climb the ladder
to
let her pick her up? Like, that's the shit that you're talking about, though. It's like she doesn't need to be doing that all the time.
Right,
Like, make
because
that
she's
a
gonna
pay-per-view
fucking hurt
thing.
herself. I want to be able to see Bianca on the long term, then have her pick up fucking Dewdrop with
Every
help.
night.
Yeah,
Every night.
it's like, what's the fucking point? You're just gonna hurt yourself.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Save big moments like that for pay-per-views.
Yeah,
like
dude.
If
I don't
you
need to
coulda
see it
gave-
all the time.
If you could have gave us constantly her trying it, her doing it, then Dewdrop kind of helps her with that, with the assist. We could have looked at it like, wow, she figured out a way to get that bitch up, even if Dewdrop had to, like, she was countering a move or something, but she got her up.
It's the visual, man.
but-
It's the visual.
right.
It's not necessarily the action. It's the
Right,
visual
make
of
it
what you're seeing.
nostalgia. Right,
Or-
make it like a once in a lifetime type of art. You had to see the
A
premium
big,
live
a
event.
pay-per-view, like a
See-
pay-per-view
see her
event. Boom.
pick up.
She picks her up, and it's like, holy fuck, she did
Holy
it. She got her
shit,
up.
she
I don't
did
care
it,
how
yeah.
she got her up. She has her up, and she's walking around. That's a cool visual. But if you
Right.
do it every week,
Because how many times did Hogan body slam Andre?
once,
One fucking
and
time.
it's still like one of the most, if not the most iconic WWE moment ever.
Thank you.
They slammed him.
So
Right.
if you want to build that, like, and I know we're totally fantasy booking at this point, but if you were
love
wanting
it.
to build that, you should have, like you said, instead of having Dewdrop literally crawl halfway up the fucking ropes for you,
Yeah.
just don't be able to pick her up. And Dewdrop's like, man, you think you're gonna pick me up? Fucking hit your back.
Right, and
no.
then tell that story.
Right, exactly. And then the one time she actually fucking does it, it's meaningful. And
Yes.
it doesn't look like, wow, this is just super awkward. And you can tell Dewdrop's literally walking up. It's like really, really bad. Oh, and then by the way, once you actually do pick her up, you're like, and you're shaking the whole time because you literally don't have the capacity to fucking do that.
Yeah. It's like you're
It's
definitely
so
strong.
dumb.
You're definitely athletic and
Yes,
definitely strong.
But
However,
but you're pushing your limits way too fucking beyond there. Like,
you're going to tear a muscle.
literally.
You're going to tear a tendon off the bone.
It should have been one and done, and
Yeah.
that should have been it. You know what I mean? Like,
Anyway.
it's just too much. It's just too much.
Hey, make big moments
Less-
what they should be. Like, few and far between. It doesn't need to be. Dude, this instant gratification world that we live in is part of the problem. You know what I mean?
my
It's like,
God.
well, I need I need my spike in my views. I need to get the views. I need the, you know what I mean? So that's really part of it. They're like, we have to have something big every single week or
Yep.
else.
Well, and to segue from what you just said right there.
Yeah, I was about to say big. Yeah, big moments.
So Hangman on Rampage won the Golden Ticket Battle Royal for a future World Championship title match. And I think it's a set date. I think it's like the 8th of October or the 18th of October. It's somewhere in that time frame. Within a month, Hangman's going to get a world title shot. And I even sent it in the group. I'm like, so he won this Golden Ticket world title guarantee match, even though MJF is sitting on a fucking chip right now, right? Didn't he win the chip?
Yeah, so
Yep.
he's basically money in the bank for AEW.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, okay, so we just have multiple. We're just giving title matches out now because you can't tell fucking stories, man. You're just like, we don't have a number one contender, truly, so we need to have a fucking, let's do a battle royal. Oh, okay, well, let's do this. Instead of telling the story of like someone coming up through the ranks organically, man, and just let the stories kind of write themselves and then guide them on where they need to go. That's the best way to do it.
Well, they use this ranking system too. Use that.
No, they don't. What-
well, they
what-
should. Is what I'm
what
saying.
ranking
They
system?
they show it every time. They it's part of
Yes.
their whole little thing on the bottom with their name and shit. Oh, they're 33-0. or
They use
they're
it when it's convenient for
32-1.
them.
Yeah, because right now, dude, the fucking FTR has been the number one contenders now for
Yeah.
like 4
Ever.
months, and they have yet
Well,
to get
they
a
did
title
bring
match.
that up. I remember hearing that. in
Right,
the
but
promo and
but
backstage
they're the
promo.
number one contenders. So there's literally been 2 or 3 title matches and title changes, and FTR has not been involved in not one of those. But they're the
Well,
number
the
one
worst-
contenders.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what they should be.
Yeah, but that's they fucked themselves over. They're shooting themselves in the foot, because they don't use the ranking system. They're not doing anything that they said that they were going to do when they originally hit the scene.
Want to know why? because Cody is gone and Tony Khan took over every fucking aspect of everything, and so it's not what it used to be. We just need to get used to the fact that it's not what it used to be. It's never going to be what it used to be. That's why AEW, not only the fact that it was the alternative to Vince's bullshit at the time, but it was actually good, because when they were having matches with no storyline included because they were so new, it was interesting because the matches were so technically good. The matches were entertaining with or without a storyline. Now
they were showcasing.
Yes,
that's what it was. They were showcasing. And here's the deal: as Kimmy Winfrey would always say, everybody look under your seat. You get a title match. You get a title match. Screw the whole concept.
Took me a second.
Of like what Mr. B was saying, the ranking system. You know, it comes back to the problem of AEW is now becoming a talent showcase. We want to show you what we got every week with these are the people. And eventually, I want you to say, yeah, you like them, or no, you don't. And the ones you do, I'm going to try to put them on as much as possible. The ones you don't, they go to dark. And we're not going to tell a storyline of saying, hey, okay, this tag team is coming up through the rankings, and this tag team is on their way to having a potential title match. But while they're doing that, the champs are feuding with someone else who is the number one contenders up there. There's none of that type of storyline here. It's all about talent showcase.
Well, and here's the problem,
because we
too.
have a fan running it. Go ahead.
Like Mr. B was saying with the ranking system, how is there not a number one contender if you have a ranking
Already.
system?
Exactly.
Right.
That's why it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's like, no, there
Why is
should
there
be
a
a number
battle
one
royal?
contender, because per your ranking system, someone's 1, someone's 2, or 8, or what the fuck ever.
Yeah,
so I'm
dude.
going to have my 1 through 10 in a battle royal to determine who's won, but you already should know if you have a ranking system. So it's so counter
So
fucking
dumb.
productive.
That's all I've been trying to say.
Well, dude, and
know,
here's the
that's what I
thing.
mean.
AEW has so much potential to actually be, like, great. I mean, they have a lot of great components on their roster, dude, but they're failing at the storytelling position. You know, if this is a football team, dude, and Tony Khan's the offensive coordinator, we need a new fucking offensive coordinator. Because this motherfucker cannot get us in the end zone to save his fucking life. Period.
Well, and we want to
that's-
talk shit
that's
about
it.
like Hogan. Well, Hogan doesn't want to lose, but Hogan also was like, right, well, I don't mind losing, but like, how does this move the story forward?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
what are we
this
saying here?
benefit?
What's next?
How
Right.
does this benefit the both of us?
They don't think
Right.
about the what's next. They're just thinking about the right now, and then they're like, oh shit, the what's next, and then people get hurt.
That's Vince Russo
Because-
in a nutshell, too, by the way. So that's
Because
why
if you-
everybody
if-
talks shit.
If you think about it, Kimmy, you're right. And here's what I'm gonna use everything you guys just said to tell the story that I think is about to happen. We just have new tag team champions in AEW, correct? With
Yep.
Yep.
the
The
acclaimed.
Which I
The
love, by the
Acclaimed
way.
the acclaimed have been feuding hard with who? The Ass Boys. Now the Ass Boys have come along, and now they're talking to FTR.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going to start feuding with FTR.
Yep.
So is it once again going to have the Ass Boys, or FTR is going to get skipped over by the Ass Boys, so that the Ass Boys can now feud with the Acclaimed? Because that was the story you've been telling this whole time. It's cool that you added the tag team titles in there, but going back to what Mr. B said, and it's so funny, the ranking system, and I guess we're beating a dead horse here. What is the point? You have all these different components. Either tell me a story and involve the ranking system,
Or
or
get rid of
don't
it.
involve the ranking system and get rid of that shit
or
altogether.
change it. Make it more of who the fuck is over.
Well,
No,
I like
I
too.
think-
I like
I
the
think-
fact that
How
they have the
far, you
records.
know?
I do like the record part.
I like
Because
the
in a
record,
way-
like
but
Powerhouse
take away-
Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs is like 45-6 or 43-5 or
Take
some
away the
crazy
rank,
number,
though.
you know, and
Take
you
away
can
the
build
rank.
off that. But
Yeah,
take the
away
ranking
rank,
away.
though. Take the rank away. Let me see what they, like you said, let me see that.
Yeah,
wins,
win
losses,
losses, totally.
Totally
But
cool.
ranking, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll see somebody maybe you haven't seen in a while, or somebody they've been building on Dark, right? And then
Right.
that's how you tell the story. So when you bring in like a Aaron Solo or a fucking any
Right.
of these underneath guys, their record is like 27-9. You're like, oh,
Oh.
okay. All right, 27-9, but then you can tell that story and use it that way. Take the fucking ranking out. Just
Take
give
the
me the
ranking out.
record. That would actually
Well, they
be way
have
better.
actually, because there's no number one contender, so they gotta have another battle royal.
So dumb, dude. We'll have another battle royal in fucking a month and a half. Watch. It's going to happen.
Well, we'll see what
And
happens.
It's gonna be all the champions in a battle royal to figure out who the number one champion is, so that champion can go fight somebody that's not even there.
Yeah.
Poor
I mean,
MJF.
Like
I
I
like
said,
the ranking
wherever-
system. I just think they don't know how to utilize it.
Like, if they actually utilized it, it would be cool.
Right.
Like
you
there
know what I
can be
Because then
those
you don't
special
have to rely.
situations where, like, hey, number 15 just took on number 10 ranked. Okay, so then they swap places,
Yeah, that's how I would do it. That's me personally. If I had a ranking system,
or he goes
that's
even
how I would
further
do it.
down because he lost.
Yeah, and that's how you can tell underdog stories too, and Cinderella
Mm-hmm.
stories. You got like a fucking guy that's, let's say he's gotten 4 wins and 13 losses. He's fairly new, but then he comes in and beats number 3, and it's like, holy shit! Wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah, because they're basing it too much off of wins, but then they're not really utilizing it.
Well, and I'm
Really,
like you,
that's the
Mr. B.
thing.
If they're going to utilize it, then that's the perfect opportunity to not tell us a story.
Yeah,
It's based solely off of rank, almost like UFC. You're not seeing like a background
Yeah.
story
But it
of
builds
UFC.
its
That could
stories.
change the whole fucking business
Yeah,
for
dude.
AEW, at least. I mean,
And
I
know
would
how
be
they
way
present
more
it.
interested. That to me, that presentation would
Give
be
it a more
way
realistic
better.
vibe
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Totally.
Because now you're creating the stories based on the ranking system, and that would be, dude, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Because that happens in real life. How many
Yes.
times have we seen the wild card team just sucked in the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden, boom, they go and beat the fucking undefeated Patriots? You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
knew
like,
you were gonna bring that up. As soon as he said underdog team, I'm like, oh, here we go. To the fucking ground.
but that's real life, dude. And think about it. Can you think of a Super Bowl in recent memory that you've been so fucking invested in, where you're like, I can't wait to watch this game? Because the
Yeah,
story
well-
has built itself. You got a literal Cinderella story sitting right here. You got a defensive end Hall of Famer who's chasing the ring. You know what I mean? You got a coach that's about to get fired. You know, you got a Manning quarterback. All these things, and they're just sucking. Next thing you know, they start heating up at the end of the season. Barely make the
Fucking
playoffs, and then just dominate.
8-8 on the road.
It's kind of like the Red Sox when they won
Yes.
the fucking World Series. Same thing.
Dude, that's the only.
You had to break
Like,
that
this
up.
isn't just a shit on AJ party, I swear to God. Oh my God.
But that's true.
I literally watched that whole series because I'm like, this is history in the making, and I don't even
Dude.
like baseball like that, but I'm going to sit here and watch all these fucking games.
But they were down 3-0
Yeah.
in the series, and then they came back and swept literally the rest of the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, dude. Anyway.
They swept that series, and then they swept the World Series. But that's incredible storytelling based on rankings, and
Yeah.
you're not even trying.
Right.
It just happens to do it,
Yeah.
right?
And they want to be professional wrestlers, not sports entertainers. So
Right,
if that's
man.
the case, then yeah,
Dude,
turn it more.
Sign me up. I'm in. I'm
See,
all the way
I
in on
can-
that one.
For me, that's kind of the difference between sports entertainer and professional wrestler. You know, I mean, because like entertainment is the storytelling part of it, really.
I don't know what that voice was, but that's the
Sports
first time I've ever
entertainment.
heard it.
The guy who does it in AEW for the Jericho Association.
Jericho.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I can't remember
The
his name.
symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Entertainment.
It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yes, that right there.
That's what they should do. Hey, again, Tony Khan, if you're
Dude.
listening, take your ranking system and ramp it all the way up and just stop telling stories because you just fucking suck at it.
Yeah, because the stories write themselves, and then you just basically add some flavor here and there too. And you could even do that. You could bring in whatever. And it's like, okay, this one, oh, you beat number
Wardlow
5,
sure.
you're now number 5.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you
So
beat number
Wardlow's
2,
your world champ,
you're now the
right?
new number 1
Oh,
contender.
Wardlow. I love him.
Wardlow is your world
I want
champion.
Wardlow and MJF to go over to WWE now.
Oh.
Could you
as
imagine?
as a tandem
Well, maybe.
to
Wardlow
start
would be-
to start with?
Yeah, maybe you could do that. Like have some story in AEW where they come back together in some way. They leave. Their
That would
contracts
actually
are
be-
over.
that would
And
be
they
cool.
join up with Cody as the world champion.
Could you imagine? See, this is why. Like, we have
Tony
all,
Khan's fucking up.
we've all grown up with WWE, right? So I think we're all maybe a little at heart kind of
Oh,
want
I'm
them all to
100%.
be.
I'm
I
100% biased.
So it's like
I try
Have you
not
seen
to be
my house?
biased, but it's
But
it's hard.
it's hard to not think. Could you imagine MJF and Wardlow in the care of Triple H?
And dude,
Oh.
that's,
You know what I'm
that's-
saying? Because
that's
like they
MJF's
are
favorite.
such high caliber talents on their own, in spite of Tony Khan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love MJF. I'm totally an MJF fan. I love
So
him.
am I.
And he's such a dick.
He's such a dick, but that's why I love it.
Great.
But
He said
and
go
they're
take
just
some
now
pills
getting
from
back
William
to that
Regal.
PG-13. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, they did.
So
They
it's
are-
like-
well, they're kind of they're making it a little more
mature.
Yeah.
Well, on a side note, congratulations, MJF, for getting engaged.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
we
right. He
did.
did get
Oh,
engaged.
They even brought it up on the show, too.
Yeah, that's
so-
right. Because Wheeler Yuta was like,
Yeah. I'm not going to say nothing,
yeah,
But
he's
then I'm
like,
gonna
but
say
she's
something.
going to know. She's going to figure it out. You know, you're a fucking dick.
She's gonna walk out on you. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, bro.
pretty much. That's what
Hey,
he was saying.
Wheeler Yuta slapped the shit out of MJF, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
super
he did.
Yeah, he
slapped the
definitely
shit out of
did.
him.
dude.
Like,
That kind of
And I
made me
love-
want to see that match because I was like, okay, because they've been building Wheeler Yuta.
well, because
and
when he
he's
first
good.
came out, you're like MJF against Will. What the fuck is this? And so it's nice to hear that by the end of it, you were like, okay.
Yeah, they changed my mind. But yeah, he started talking about Regal popping pills, dude, and fucking Wheeler Yuta just bow slapped the shit out of him. So I was
he
like,
call him
okay, Willie, yeah.
Willie Regal.
Oh,
that
Willie
made me
Regal?
laugh. Yeah.
Willie Regal.
But yeah, no, I think yes, I think the ranking system, dude, 100%, a million times over.
Yeah, and let
is
the
the way
stories
to
build
go.
But I mean,
themselves.
if you want to do it like fucking WWE's doing it, get rid of it.
Yeah,
get rid
pick
of the
one or
ranking
don't.
system.
It's like have it or don't have
no,
it.
that's what we're saying too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, either have
But
it or
yeah,
don't.
that's what I'm saying though.
Go
If you-
full board though.
Unless you're trying to, because like you're saying, you're not competition. You're just an alternative.
right.
That's what they've been saying from day one. So, I don't know. It's just stupid, the ranking system.
Yeah, let's get rid of it. AEW, get the fuck rid of your ranking system.
No, do
Yeah.
the exact opposite. Just do only the ranking
I mean, I like
system.
it, but I like the idea of it. It's just it's not being utilized correctly, I feel.
Anyway.
Yeah, we just fantasy
How about
booked the fuck. We just fixed that. We should be like Bar Rescue and just be like Wrestling Rescue,
Consultant.
where we just make a show and we go fix their fucking.
We just
promotion.
consult. We just
That's what
like-
that's what this segment just was. Wrestling Rescue.
Wrestling Rescue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brought to you by the
goddamn.
MACKDOwn
Wrestling
Podcast.
That's
You're
it.
welcome.
That's
That
gonna be
Tony
a
Gunn,
mainstay.
please send those royalty checks too for these ideas.
Yep.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would love to sit at home and do this.
Definitely.
Maybe
Hey,
we should get
so,
into
uh,
fantasy then?
One last thing
Well,
before we
didn't
get
even
into
talk about
fantasy.
WWE, bro.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit here and there.
It was
but,
a free for all this week.
So, what do you guys feel about Moxley as the champ again? For the
I
third
never
time?
wanted
I
Moxley
think
to
if
not
he-
be the champ.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he ever should have lost. I'm like, of course fucking CM Punk should lose right here. Moxley should stay the champ. He's better.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
way fucking better.
Do you think he's like the tippy top
Yeah.
right now in that company?
I'm totally down with Moxley keeping it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And yes,
I like it.
absolutely. Because he's out of his fucking mind.
He is.
You know what I mean? Of course he's the champ. He's a psycho. It totally makes sense. Plus he's a big dude. He's willing to
He's very, very credible.
put his body up for the sport. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, in my opinion, yeah, I think CM Punk should have never fucking taken that shit off of him. And then in an interview, shoving his face full of fucking food.
Talking
being
about
an
how he has
asshole.
to work with children.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
he's
he's
like,
talking.
oh, I fucking gotta work with children. It's like, I'm sorry. Because I even thought it was so awkward. I was like, why is he sitting here eating a sandwich and like doing all this bullshit while I'm like, what kind of interview is this? It's so
He's got
weird.
a company to run, man. You know.
It's bizarre,
He's got
dude.
a company to run.
Fuck.
Anyway, and then Kevin Nash, just to piggyback off of that, his interview talking
I
about
loved
talking shit on CM Punk for saying he's tired and he's this and that. And
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
I
I
heard that
remember
one, too.
when he was cutting a promo on me saying, oh, you're an old man and this and that. And he's like, and you haven't even been wrestling for 10 years and you're tired? Like, he was talking so much
Yeah,
shit.
he's like, I think he's got toxic shock from his tampon or something being in too long. I was like, wow,
hilarious.
damn,
He
Kevin
was-
Nash. Hey, but to be fair, everybody's shitting on Punk right now, dude.
Why
Rightfully
shouldn't
so.
you? Look at him.
Like Road Dogg, if you go listen, shout out to Road Dogg's podcast. Oh, you didn't know? He shit on him for like 3 weeks straight, just taking jab shots left and right. And he's like, yeah, he was disrespecting me and Billy, and to the point where, like, if I wasn't like on my last leg basically with the company, he's like, I think I would have fought him. And he's like, and based on what I've seen, I'm pretty sure I would have came out the other side on top. And this is before he learned karate.
Karate.
I loved it, dude. Goddamn. But yeah, everybody's taking shots at him like that. He's just not professional. He's such a marky mark, apparently, is what they're all calling him, because a mark for himself.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm not going to sign this contract unless I'm the world champion at some point. So,
Well, and that's just selfish. And also,
but he's a martyr.
I can't with him. I can't. Like, you should
I'd
have
be
stayed
like,
home.
all
bro.
right, you had the belt twice. goodbye.
Yeah, time
Dude,
to go.
literally, there was this meme I saw too, where it was like AEW ever since CM Punk's reveal, and it's like a train going over a bridge, and the bridge just fucking collapses and starts falling down the ravine.
Oh, damn.
It's like, yeah, dude, that's pretty much what's happened because he never needed to come back. That's what I mean. Moxley, yes, all day, every day.
And they can come back from this Punk thing. They really can. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. But it's like, you've learned your lesson now. Like, hey, man, focus on the guys you got, dude.
Well, Punk's just making Punk look like an asshole. I can't blame
Yeah.
AEW for fucking, what? Phil.
For Phil.
Well,
Yeah.
Anyway.
you can definitely blame Tony Khan for that shit because that bastard sat right next to him and let him say all that shit, and never cut him off and never stopped. And
Dude,
never
maybe he was letting him fucking cut. Maybe he was letting himself cut his own throat. Who knows, man? Maybe
Well-
he was going, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna let him bury himself.
If I'm the
done.
boss, I'm like, hey, your sandwich is in your green room. You can eat it when you're fucking done.
Yeah, we're having interview time right now.
Yeah, dude. And if you don't want to do interview, then we just don't do interview.
Well, dude, and then he
And I
sat
could
there.
find you.
He pulled out like 4 or 5 fucking cans of whatever the fuck it was, and
Yeah,
he
that
sipped
soda
on
shit.
one of them, and he gave one to Tony Khan, and yeah, I was like, wow, and
Yeah,
and
Tony's
he's
like, "Can I
talking
have
about
one?"
divas and fuck yeah.
it was a shit show.
I'm over CM Punk, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad that Mox is the champ. Because he's been cutting really good promos too, like talking about it's time to be legendary type of shit. So I was like, okay, all right, Mox, I'm in for it. Let's see what you got. You know?
See, the only talent I'm into are the ones that are doing their own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all the other ones that are just flipping around. Dude, I even like Wheeler Yuta. I really like
Oh,
Yuta.
dude, I think he's on the rise. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I've been shitting on Danny Garcia pretty hard on this podcast for quite some
Sure
time.
have been.
That match that they had, Wheeler Yuta and Danny Garcia, I was like, okay, they could fucking wrestle every week as far as I'm concerned.
Dude, just
that was
Yuta's
a fucking
really, really
good
good.
match, dude. Kudos to them too. They really did it, man.
They really did it.
Great match, yeah. But it made me respect Daniel Garcia a little more because I feel like they're kind of morphing his character a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, but I know we've been on AEW for a while, but I really like where they're going with that because they're kind of getting him a little. They're taking the goofiness away from him, which you can't have any goofiness if you're going to be, that guy. So, anyway,
I think we just talk about it a lot because we want it so much to be what it used to be. On its way up.
I'm rooting for AEW's success, man.
I like it. I like it so much because that's what I grew up watching in WCW, and it gives me that kind of vibe, especially when they first started. But now it's slowly dwindling. I feel they need someone in there like Bischoff, maybe.
No, we've already said
You know,
in previous
I mean,
podcasts that'll never happen.
I don't think
I
that'll
know.
ever happen because
Unless he
Bischoff
fucking
and-
buys it.
Well, Bischoff and if that happened, holy
Now,
shit,
could you?
Oh my
Dude,
god!
that'd be WCW for real.
Like, we'd have fucking wars all over again. Which hey, I'm down for, man. I'm ready for some damn wrestling wars again. It was great for TV.
Yeah, but
It was great for TV.
All right.
But anyway, enough with AEW. Was there anything from WWE that anybody wanted to touch on?
So the one thing specific for me, the honorary Oos, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That
that's-
entire
that
spot
was-
where he's like, take that shirt off,
hilarious.
and Jimmy's running around the background,
Yeah,
like being like
dude.
the fucking,
Yeah.
take your shirt, right now, take your shirt, like being mad, like fuck yeah, he's fucking finally kicking him out of our fucking
Yeah.
group, you know what I mean? And
And
then
Sammy played it well too. He's
He
like, "What are you?
did.
You look like a little fucking lost
he
puppy
was
dog."
so sad, like
Yeah, he
his
was.
face was just like, I can't believe it.
Like
I can't
everything I've
believe
done. Are you joking?
Yeah, dude. And then he's like, I got you a new one. And he puts it on. And then Jimmy, like, totally, he's just, like, in the corner, pissed off, like,
Dude.
sulking, almost like, what the
Motherfucker.
fuck?
Think about all the stories that are being told just right there in
Yes,
that
that's
group
what I'm
of
saying.
5 people.
They have a lot going on there, which is beautiful. And it's all so casual. You know what I mean? And then at the very end, Sammy hugs Roman, and then Roman, like, leans in after a minute, and he's just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to hug you back.
Dude,
I'm like,
you know what's funny
it's
though? So us
cute.
wrestling fans, you know what I mean? So we all see the writing on the wall here. We all know it's coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Sammy's gonna get uber fucked over, and it's gonna turn him into a mega, possibly forever
Superstar.
babyface at this
Mm-hmm.
point, right? So I think that's where they're going with it. I hope that's where they're going because holy fuck, dude, we're gonna feel so bad for Sammy when that happens because they're gonna leave him just completely lying.
Well, it's so
Well,
perfect though because Jimmy's the only one right now that's super pissed about it. You know what I mean? And then their cousin is also like, oh, you done fucked up and you're slacking, basically. You know what I mean? And then he's like, all right, come on, Sammy. Like the week prior. Oh.
Dude, and Solo's going to be the one that fucks him up. Solo's going to be the one that fucks him over.
I agree.
And that whole thing unravels that way. So, and then KO's going to come in for the save, and it's going to be TV motherfucking magic.
It already kind of is, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, and then, of course, just in the background on Instagram, all the edits that I'm seeing with Sammy
the photos.
First of all, why does he look like
pictures.
saying, why does he look like that?
He looks like something straight out of like 1972.
Well, in that
man.
one photo, yeah. But in the other one where they're showing like all of them now and then all of them back in the day, and Sammy's just photoshopped in, and this like, oh.
Well, that's not WWE though. Yeah, that's some.
No, it's
separate,
just that's why I said it's on
like
Instagram.
There's just so many. Yeah, the internet
Yeah.
always wins on those.
The
man.
internet does win, but those are. It makes it even like better for me when I'm watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and it's crazy because look how we went completely from goddamn AEW, what the fuck? We say one thing about one story and we're like beaming
Yeah.
because it's going to be so good, and it already has been so good.
Yeah, a lot of what they're doing down there right now is really good.
It's just all about consistency, in my opinion.
Now,
The story
Logan
doesn't
Paul
have to
Roman
be great.
Reigns thing.
So
AJ,
I am
go ahead.
I am very interested in the Karrion Kross Drew McIntyre strap match.
They
I haven't
basically
seen
had it on
those-
SmackDown. They were
Did
out
they?
there for like 20 fucking minutes just beating the shit out of each other.
Damn.
Oh well, I mean,
Like they basically
you know,
had it.
It's
What
done.
the fuck? Yeah.
Now that's an AEW move right there. Hey, let's put our main match like the week before.
Dude, yeah. Well, they just started beating the shit out of each other, and they got hooked up with the straps, and they were slapping around each other and hitting each other, and it just went on forever and ever. And then finally Scarlett came in and hit the fucking crotch shot on Drew, and then that night, you know?
Night.
night. Good night.
So, yeah, I don't know, man.
But for me that was my highlight of the week.
Yeah,
That-
Sammy is excellent in his role, dude, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, that is
yeah.
just...
Well, and I even liked Roman at first too. He's like, "What are you even doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why are you just hanging around? Like, what,
What do you want?
yeah, what do you want?"
Yeah, what do you want?
And see, I feel like that was like an authentic Roman in the character sense, basically saying that to him in real life. But he's like, all right, we're going to keep you around because you're our foil, basically. You're kind of helping us out. And,
Well, and I like they used the opportunity when they got new merch to go ahead and just get Sammy a shirt too and just make him included because they were all wearing new shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, I do like the honorary Oos shirt. I kind of
Yeah,
want
I
it.
definitely
I'm
want to
not
get
gonna
one of
lie.
those. That looks pretty cool.
Well, and I like how they just put SC. They didn't really put his name on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Anyway.
we'll help you out a little bit here. He's like, take that fucking shirt.
But we're going to start seeing a lot of honorary Oos shirts
Oh,
in the
that'd be
crowd for
awesome.
sure.
Okay, hey, something just sparked my memory real quick.
That'd
What?
be great.
You were talking about Gunta and how you don't give a fuck at all.
Yeah.
So
you're
since we're
sick
on
of
the
'em.
WWE real quick, before we transition
It's
to
not.
fantasy,
It's not his fault. Okay, it's not his fault. It's Vince's fault. He should have never not been Walter. He should have came up with his little fucking faction that they just reintroduced now because Triple H is back and knows what the fuck he's doing. But it's like too little, too late. I'm not interested.
So you don't think there's any way for him to come back at all from this?
I mean, he could, but
Like, you don't think that like right now what they're doing, as far as they brought back Imperium and now they got them together, they even
listen.
changed their music. They changed their music to where now it kind of starts out with the old
Yeah,
traditional
sure.
Imperium song, but then transitions.
isn't that nice? Wouldn't it have been nice had he just come up that way? Had he just never changed his character?
Well, of course.
Hey,
Right, that's
it's
what I'm
different
saying.
Management,
course.
though,
That's what
Kimmy.
I
You
mean,
can't
though. I have a bad taste in my mouth now. That's why I said it's not his fault that he's no longer Walter and he no longer had. They're just trying to now piece it all together because they can see that's what we're missing. Me anyway. That's what I'm missing.
Okay, so you're gonna give it a chance though? At least give it a chance.
I'll
because
give, but here's my thing.
feel
I
like
want
they're
him to
trending
lose
that
the
way.
title. I'm
Yeah,
ready
'cause
for him to
I
lose
was
the
gonna go
title.
back to that. You literally said let Solo squash him, and I was
Squash.
just appalled.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made me feel that way too, because I was like, you can't squash Gunta.
Yeah, squash Gunther?
Okay, maybe not
No.
squash. Okay, but win. He needs to win. You know what I mean? Whether the Usos interfere, Sammy, something needs to happen, right?
They could transition that into
I
a
could
Roman
see that with
and
Sammy
Gunta feud.
interfering.
Yeah, or it unintentionally interfering.
Yeah, that could make
Like
Roman and
he
Gunter a
fucks
thing.
it up on accident.
What
right?
if they did that?
Fine, perfect, love that.
Roman
then-
and Gunter have a program. And,
I mean, sure, it makes more sense than Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing that out there. But
Well, it is a crown
But
jewel
no, that
show,
would be a
so-
perfect fucking example of why they could take it off of him. Then he could become the mean Walter Gunther that he used to be. You know what I
Well,
mean?
shit, I mean, you saw the match with him and Sheamus. That shit tore the roof off. No
Dude,
matter
that
what
was the
you
best
think about
match
the
of the night.
character,
I'm sorry.
no matter what you think about the character, the presentation, all that shit, Gunther, excuse me, shows you that he can still go.
No, and
tell
I'm
the
not saying
story.
that's why I said no disrespect to him as a wrestler. It's not his fault that his story sucks and I don't want to see it. That's all. But,
I'm
you know,
giving
the
it a
matches
chance,
are great.
man.
The
I'm giving it
matches
a
are
real
great.
chance. I think that the Walter presentation is coming back, and they got him out of the red fucking coats, which is
Yeah,
so dumb.
What was that?
But yeah, so now they're black and white again, which is what they've always should have been. But they need one more piece, dude, to that puzzle. They need
What
one
do you
more
mean?
piece. They need one more piece to the fucking Imperium puzzle.
More
And-
than 3?
Yeah, because
No.
because Imperium was always 4 people.
Yeah, but see,
No,
Alexander
but
even
he
in the
always came
indies,
out with the
bro.
2 people.
Well, even in the Indies though, they always had 4 people. In
Yeah,
it was the Ring Generals or it was the Ring Kampf. It was Ring Kampf was their name.
But remember, Alexander couldn't stay healthy, bro. He
Well,
always.
no, Alexander wasn't even originally there. You want to know who was originally a part of that group?
Who?
Fucking Tim Thatcher.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Who is now been released. Yeah.
Exactly. However, you could
Before the Vince
easily
thing.
bring him back into this Imperium role, and he would fit in perfectly.
Listen, I
Because
love
he's
Imperium.
he's a real like wrestler, MMA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
He
match
could
that
transition.
He had with Ciampa,
Dude, him and
that
Riddle.
match-
Do you remember him and Riddle in the fight pit?
Yeah,
Bro.
the fight pit, him and Ciampa.
He
in the
knocked
fight
his
pit,
teeth
those-
out. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like, dude, you kidding
That
me?
match right there. Could you imagine that match live in front of a crowd?
And
Oh
he's
my
got a
God.
fucking scary, like, deep voice. He's all, dude, he's perfect for that role to come in and be. And I don't want every faction to be the same as far as, like, the enforcer and the tag team and the leader. However, that's
you
just
do.
kind
Yeah,
of.
you do.
That's just kind of standard, status
Well,
quo.
that would make sense then if you're putting him in a role against
The Intercontinental Champion or, like, the.
Roman, I mean.
Oh, for Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther.
I think that's why, dude. I just can't with the name. Walter was so much better. It rolls off the
Yeah,
tongue
Walter
nicer.
was
It
just-
sounds
yeah.
intimidating. It sounds like you're really mean grandpa or something.
Should we just start calling him Walter and just say, fuck it? We'll just, when we
Yeah,
say
no
Walter,
different
we
than
just know it's
Dewdrop.
Gunther.
I hate her name too.
Well, but then we'd have to change the name for, like, Ludwig and.
No, that's fine.
And then
that makes
fucking
sense.
what's his name? Vinci.
Vinci.
Vinci. Vincenzo.
So I think we just need to get used to their new names and
Yeah.
just forget about the new names. And,
Pastafaguli.
Well, here's the thing too. They're like Gunther. Like they
Yeah,
can't even
I
decide
do-
how the
me
fuck
too.
they want to say it.
me too.
So it's like
I say it how I
Jesus
want to say
Christ,
it each
it's
time.
so
Gunther.
annoying.
Gunther.
Mr. G.
Gunther.
Mr. G.
Anyway, maybe that's what we call him. G. So
Fuck
anyway,
G.
G in the Imperium. Fuck.
He is the
OG,
G.
triple OG. Gunther.
No, but I okay. I'm not no disrespect again. Just throwing it out there. I like their matches, I do, but the storyline is like meh, meh, meh.
Yeah, I like where they're going with
They
it.
tainted
so.
it.
They did.
Don't. Hey, at least they didn't butch it up, you know.
Oh. Well, again, we have to just forget about the name
Ba-dum-bum.
changes, and
But see,
we
now
just
you
know
say
that
Butch,
that's
and I
Pete
know
Dunne.
who that is.
Right, it's Pete Dunne. He's
He
Butch.
could have just been Pete. Pete is like a old timey.
Right.
It's already great.
Yeah.
Oh, Petey boy.
Butch
I can
just
see
sounds-
him
Petey.
saying that.
Yeah.
Little Petey. Oh, Petey boy's gonna kick your ass. Something like that.
Yeah,
You
they,
know,
Yeah.
it's
Didn't,
just-
they didn't change Ridge Holland's name. What the fuck's that all about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
His name's
should've
Ridge. It's not even a
they-
real fucking name.
yeah.
They should change his name because Rich
Leave
Holland.
it to Vince, man, to fucking ruin
To-
it.
I
You
know.
know?
I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, look, and again, I appreciate everything Vince has ever done because if without Vince, we're not sitting here today having these
Oh,
conversations.
Yeah, no, true story.
Yeah, but
Vince
it's almost
is,
like term limits, right? Some things need
Right.
term limits,
Yeah,
and you don't
that's-
need to
yeah.
be 90 sitting at the helm, like trying to figure
I
shit
agree
out for
with
the
you,
new
Kimmy.
generation. You know
Why
what I
is
mean?
Roman not the champ? Well, Roman retired 6 years ago, Vince.
Yeah, Hogan.
Oh my God damn it!
Roman and Hogan at WrestleMania. He's got a body slam Roman.
He'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
It's like
What
when
are
you go to
you talking-
visit your great grandparent in the nursing home, and they're like, "I'm gonna go home and make sauerkraut and sausage," and you're like, "Yeah, it's cute." No, you're not.
Yeah,
You're actually
no,
gonna
not.
be here.
You're gonna be
It's
right
sad.
here. Love you.
Yeah, love you. See you next week.
Oh, that's
3
scary.
o'clock.
That's
This
a
is
scary
home.
disease.
Yeah.
This is
This
God, that's scary as
It's like you just stop re-explaining it to them at some point. You're like, oh, that's nice. And then
Yeah.
you'll
you
forget.
totally are gonna do that. Yep.
Yeah.
In
Anyway.
fact, I'll be here.
Oh
Someone's-
yeah, maybe next week.
And then you fuck with them when you get there. You be like, "Where's the sauerkraut? You said you was gonna make this shit. Where is
Oh,
it?"
that'd be
Like,
funny.
who are you?
Yeah,
what the
like-
fuck?
We're making
You
light.
said-
We're making light of a very serious illness,
I
but
know, dude.
Yeah,
that
that's
is a
right.
scary
Oh,
illness,
sorry.
by the way. That is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
bud.
no, but it
That
is
shit-
true though. Like at some point, man, you gotta know your own limitations and
Well,
get
that
the fuck,
I
step
think
the
that's an
fuck
ego
down.
thing too. Like Vince's ego wasn't going to allow him to. I totally expected him to die.
Dude, he would
before,
still be exactly. I'm right
Yeah.
with you. He would still be right where he was if not for all this controversy.
Yeah, and I truly think that if none of this was to ever come out, he would pretty much have probably died in that chair.
Yep,
You know, so
like legit, probably at a show.
yeah,
Someday.
yes,
Literally.
yeah. So it wouldn't have shocked me if that would have been the case. But,
But no, I'm glad it came sooner than later because it was already like
It's
we've
time.
talked about
It's-
before, 10 years overdue.
yeah.
So
Well, and we're adults, you know what I mean? Like we understand that pro wrestling they say
grown
quote
ass
unquote is a kid's show. You
Not
know what I mean?
anymore.
But it's not though, you know? Like
It's evolved. I mean, it turned
it turned
went
into
from,
a kid show when Hogan hit the scene. You know what I'm saying? He was
Right,
like a real
right.
life
It-
superhero in person.
Exactly. It had to become mainstream and be presented larger than life. Hulk Hogan did that.
Yep.
He slammed the Giant. He put them on the map. That body slam heard around the world. I mean, you know, and even previous before that, it was really put on the map with the whole Hogan and rock and roll and wrestling. You know, he was
That was
it was
the
all
genesis, though.
mainstream.
The
That was-
the slam was the
the wrestling
the
moment.
apex,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that was the wrestling moment of them all, and it just built off of there. You know, right now where we're at today, it's kind of like it all transitions, it all evolves. You know, we got that Attitude Era because it had to transition, and once the Attitude Era ended, it was like, well, where do we go from here?
WWE
And that-
needs to be Disney, where they are for everybody. Disney Plus, WWE Plus.
Well, they are now. Then
Well, they
together
are
that's what I
now,
mean.
yeah.
That's the vibe that they need to take on now in this day and age. Now that Vince
And
is
they're
gone,
starting to do that.
yeah, that's why the rating just recently changed. So it's just kind of like,
Dude, as soon as
because Marvel movies aren't necessarily kid movies, but people take their kids to see them.
right, exactly. Well, even like the shit
Shit.
that AJ was watching when I was over there, bro.
Oh my god.
They're talking. They started talking mad shit, and I just looked at AJ like, oh.
Oh no,
Okay.
that's different. No, that's
I'm talking
TVMA.
about like the Harley Quinn shit that
The
we were
Harley
watching.
Quinn
But that
shows,
is
yeah,
a
it's very
cartoon.
Oh, that's
It's-
DC too.
but it's a
That's totally
cartoon
different.
and it's a comic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you wouldn't hear
Yeah.
Batman saying "motherfucker" back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
Never.
You know what I
definitely
mean?
said it a couple of times in this show.
yeah, yeah. So it's cool to see that side. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool as an adult to be like, okay, this is how it would really be, dude. No different than the boys.
Well, and according to real comic book fans, like Thor even is a very dark comic. You know what I mean? But they
Yeah,
turned
this
it
shit that
into
we're
like
seeing.
a joke. Like every
Yeah.
single one
It
of
is
those
a joke
movies
now,
is
yeah.
really
It's a
After
parody of
Ragnarok-
itself.
it's a parody of
Af-
itself.
After Ragnarok, it became very. It was just like, what am I? This is the comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's just like TV in general, movies in general. Because like when the original Hulk was out, they had Thor in an episode of the original Hulk series, and he was kind of a comical character too. There, really.
Oh, dude,
Thor's
could you
always-
imagine
Thor's
if they
always-
told the dark story of the Hulk? Like, if they did a movie where, because, like, when he loses control, he loses control. He's primal
yeah.
at that
Oh yeah,
point.
they did a movie. That was the Fox version.
Well, no. I'm
Before the
saying,
Marvel.
no. I'm saying, like, dark. Like,
Like
kind
he
of
was
how the
ripping
last
people's
Doctor
arms out
Strange
of his
was.
sockets
And, yeah, just
Yeah,
pulling
Doctor
people apart.
Strange.
And fucking,
Bro, that is not a kid movie. That shit would
That's what I'm
give you
saying.
nightmares.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Watching
you-
Dr.
oh,
X. Oh,
Professor
There's a
X get
market
his
for
neck
all that.
snapped, and she blew out Homeboy's brain and
dude. She's like, what mouth? What?
cut
yeah, you're dead.
cut fucking Captain. I guess
Spoiler
not Captain
alert.
America, but Captain Britter.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, the fuck you doing?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's your fault at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
If
I
I'm
can't
watching
feel
it like
that.
a week later,
Yeah.
okay.
Definitely, she cut her in half with the shield and shit. Like,
Right.
oh my god,
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
They got real
dude.
gruesome in that fucking movie. Everybody was dying all over the place.
I bet it's. I
I
bet it's
said-
watched quite a bit too, though. I bet it's like. I thought it was good. I enjoyed
That's
the
the
shit
way-
out of it.
Dude,
really
same.
good.
Yeah.
It's almost like the
Wanda's
Harry
no
Potters, how they started growing up and getting darker as you
Yeah.
start watching them. It's like nice. It's evolving with your audience. I like that.
It took me a minute to realize what the fuck I was watching, though, because like when I first seen it, you guys were watching it, and it was already, oh fuck, dude, probably 3/4 of the way over. But even from that point, I was like, okay, I got to go back and rewatch this whole fucking thing because
For Harry Potter,
this is
you mean?
really good. No. Sorry for the
For
Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes.
But yes, the Harry Potters, I agree too. Like, because I didn't watch them when they were all kids, and I was like, eh. And then the older they got, like the darker the story got, and I was like, okay, because I think I've seen like the last 2 of them, from all the way to beginning to end.
I've seen none. I've never watched any of them.
Yeah, they took
They're
Doctor
pretty good.
Strange in the right direction. They took Thor in the total wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know Thor was supposed to be dark and gritty.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you watch She-Hulk, the show, I know Mr. B likes it. Dude, that's such a
Pretty good.
joke, too.
I watched like the first episode and was like, I
Nah.
might be out. I might
Oh.
watch one more episode and see.
I
but-
was all the way out because he's like, "Oh, I've watched so many episodes." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you can definitely get into that's a show you can watch without me for sure." I'm good.
All yours, baby.
They just told the
All
story
yours.
so quick, and then she just. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
watch it for yourselves and get your.
Well,
own
it
opinion,
is
but-
part of the timeline. in the
See, and I
Marvel
don't even care that I'm
universe,
missing that part of the timeline. I don't think it's needed. I'm good. Like,
Well, no, they're tying in like Wu. He's been in it already
Okay.
from
Woohoo.
Doctor Strange.
No, I've seen the song.
I'll let you tell me the important bits, and I can miss everything else. Because
Yeah,
She-Hulk
yeah.
doesn't matter to me. Anything that doesn't involve She-Hulk, you can tell me.
Yeah,
And
what are
then-
the cliff notes? That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cliff note me.
I'm with you, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we went back and watched all the Marvel movies
In sequence.
in sequence,
Oh,
starting
my
with the
God.
Hulk movie and all that stuff. And
Well, the
then-
ones that they had.
all the ones up until Endgame, basically.
Yeah,
See, I
because some
want
of
to do
these,
that.
some
That
of
feels
these,
like it would be like very.
So we literally did like Iron Man, and then this, and then this, and then Black Widow, and such and such. So we watched all of the
timeline-wise.
movies in sequence and timeline in which they existed in the Marvel universe.
because I think there's a few that's come out that are kind of like
kind of in the middle of those.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well, like the Black
Miss-
Widow one, for
prequel
example.
kind of.
or Marvel,
Stuff.
or the Marvel one with the girl. What's her name? Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Like hers is
a little bit
in
weird.
like the 80s. So you gotta, yeah, it's weird.
So in those stories, when you're watching those though, because I haven't done that yet, I would want to. It sounds like it would actually be fun. But does it tell the story? Like, is the story consistent through the entire thing? Not saying it's one big giant movie, but
I'm
there's-
gonna say yes
there's a
because you know how they always give you the little the thing at the end of the
And-
movie.
yeah.
The end.
It
clip,
ties
the end
into the next movie that you're about to watch that you don't even know that that's what it's from. Because like
Right.
you would have never known that that movie is about to be released, but they're going to show you a snippet of something that has to do with like 2 movies down the road.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's the kind of shit too that like you're like, oh, okay, now I can understand where this ties into this kind of. So it just
Yeah.
connects all the dots.
Ah, see?
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, because that was my main thing was like, does it make more sense after watching it that way?
It
And
totally
you can
does.
follow the characters pretty well.
Well, because
and-
like Black Widow, dude, you don't realize how many fucking movies she's in. She's
Oh, yeah,
not only
yeah.
in the Avengers movies, she's in Captain America, she's in Iron Man, she's all over the fucking place, dude. So she's almost the one that like ties a bunch of the stories together.
Damn.
It's kind of crazy.
weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you
I
think
mean,
about it
you
like
could-
that, she is in damn near all of them.
It's
Yeah.
honestly kind of crazy how many of it, because she's in Iron Man like the first one,
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
isn't
not
it?
the first.
Or is it the second? She's in one of the Iron Mans that was like very early on. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh shit, dude, she's been around forever, and yeah, she'll just
Yeah,
pop up in
second,
everyone
I
else's
think.
movies too.
Damn.
Yeah, she's working.
Because the second one's when he's having that illness. Yeah, I think.
I don't remember.
Remember?
That part.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
fun to go
I
back
want to
and
say
do.
she's in the first one though, or even maybe even in the Hulk movie.
No,
I'd have to go back. I want to say it's the very first Iron Man, but you don't really notice her as Black Widow necessarily, but she's there because she's like, yeah, she's not presented in like a Black Widow type way. Anyway,
Nice.
we can cut most of this out, but yeah,
Yeah. This is way off topic.
That's
but
all
hey,
good, man.
it's a free for all week.
That's right. That's right. We talk
So-
about whatever the fuck we want. We're sitting here watching football too. Fuck it, you know. We got
Hey,
it all going.
maybe we should do a paranormal tie-in to wrestling, kind of, because I know there's some stories out there from different wrestlers too. We could probably.
Mike likes the
Research.
paranormal stuff.
I do.
I'm
I do.
realizing.
He's no different though.
I
He's
like
no
paranormal
different.
stuff.
That ties into aliens.
Are you
too.
gonna go ghost hunting?
That's why Chris
No,
Statlander is
no.
one
I
of my
like-
favorite
it's like
female wrestlers.
Her merch.
Dude, sick.
I want that shirt so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
bad. I just never ordered it, but I really want it.
It's like your favorite alien from
If
the
you can find
Andromeda
it in your
Galaxy.
size,
Yeah,
'cause
she
they're
is.
always sold out.
I love Chris Statlander. I've liked her gimmick since day one.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. That she before she got hurt again. I was like wanting her to be one of the ones to come up, and like, why not? Because she's, you know what I mean?
Well, she's homegrown too. Like,
Yes.
it's another one that they can build off of, that she can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
She just keeps getting hurt. It's
All
unfortunate.
right. Well, speaking of fantasy, and
Fantasy!
fantasy booking, and fantasy football, and all the things.
Well, let's do it here. So, let's go ahead and jump into it. Does anybody have any last remarks or last comments before we jump into it? We all good?
Tony Khan, you're a fucking mark.
Oh, there it is. I like it. I'll at him.
Oh, at him.
He is on.
Time for the MACKDOWN Fantasy.
Fantasy. All right, so we all had mediocre weeks this week, unfortunately. There was like no one that really dominated this week. The one thing I do know for sure is I lost. I had 9 points total for the week.
Damn, that is low.
Right? It's a low score. So 9 points total for me for the week. And then in fourth place, we have a tie, Mr. B and Cam at 12 points. And then Kimmy, you're in second place at 15. And AJ, you win the week. If I had the chain to give you, I would. 16 points.
Oh!
You won the week by 1 point.
Baby.
One
That's
fucking
right.
point.
You know what that means
That's
to me? I'm
But
still
you know what?
number one overall.
You know what? A win is a win is a win is a win.
1 week.
Thank you.
Mr.
It
B has
could
not
be
won
by
one fucking week.
No.
Either by an inch or a mile.
Actually, I think I
WCW.
finally did, didn't I? A couple weeks ago or something.
I don't know.
2
You
weeks
you
ago.
might have. You might have.
I don't even remember. Did you actually win the week?
I think you did win the week.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it
did.
was by
You did.
like a few points.
Because you were just
I think it
talking
was.
about, too, like not too long before that, how you like, I don't think I've ever won.
No, I haven't. I
And
have
then-
not won a fucking week.
Well, because we were
It
having
took so fucking long, a whole fucking season and a half.
we
to
were
win
having a
one
side
fucking week.
Listen. We were having a side conversation about him taking Riddle from me because like we both wanted to make a move and Riddle was coming back. I'm like, don't do it, man. Don't fucking do it. And he's like, I haven't won one fucking week. He was so like mad. And I'm like, not one? He's like, no, never. So then when we're like, all right, who's making picks this week? He's like, I'm taking Riddle. I'm like, of fucking course you're taking Riddle. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
And
How's
now
that
you've won
working
a
out
week.
for you?
So
Yeah.
there you go. I guess it did work.
Kind of.
Okay.
All right, so with all that being said, for the quarter scores here, quarter one, season 2. Mr. B, you are in last place with 116.
No way.
I'm in fourth place with 136. AJ, you're in third place with 148. Cam's in second with 198. And Kimmy still holding on to that motherfucking title at 207. You've eclipsed the 200 mark.
207,
There it is.
yes.
200 points. There
I'm
you
out
go,
of it.
Kimmy.
I'm
Good
out
job.
of it. I'm out of it again. And I blame my my fucking tag team.
Well, I mean, you're not
I
out
like
of it
to
for the
blame the
mini. I mean,
following.
maybe for the quarter.
For the quarter.
Because the quarter's coming up. Shit, what? We got till November.
I mean, I
the
just
Survivor
drafted
Series.
a really good team. That's all there is to it.
But Cam right there in second place again, just hovering, man.
Yeah,
Just
it's because I
fucking
didn't take
hovering.
Dakota. That's my biggest mistake.
Dude, if you had Dakota, it wouldn't even be a competition.
Like
right
literally, that's who I was gonna pick, and then I'm like, I can't take all three. I don't know why I thought that, but I
know.
should have.
I'm like, yeah, because like when I had the Roman and the Usos, they were my top score. Well, Roman did not. He
I'm just an
underdelivered in
idiot.
the home stretch.
My hope is just that Becky comes back, and
Damn.
he either has to keep Dakota or drop Becky. One of the two's got to happen.
Yeah, because he can't move her to the
Yeah.
Other slot.
Right. So if Becky comes back, she's
Wait, can he do that? Can
So
he
when
use
Beck-
his one move? Oh no, he can't because he's already used his move.
Well, once the quarter shakeup though.
Oh yeah, because then you're right.
So
You're right. You're right.
So my question is I mean, not question. My thing is that I noticed like last season when we had our first quarter, Kimmy, me and you have swapped positions. I was first, you was third. Cam was always second. And it looks like because it was always you and Mr. B at the end, Mike, last season for the first quarter.
For the first quarter. Oh yeah, I think I finished
Yeah, for-
last in the first. Well, no, was that
Yeah.
last?
No,
or-
you finished. No, Mr. B finished last for the first quarter. Oh, sorry, Mr. B.
He's when he wins the title, it's going to be a really fucking big deal. I just know
we're
that.
gonna-
it's
I'm
going to be the
good.
underdog story of the century based on ratings. It's going to be the best story out there.
Oh shit!
We'll see.
I love it.
I cannot wait. We even put a rule in there for you, Mr. B, so you don't get fucked out of the championship this time.
Damn. It is now the Mr. B rule, as AJ likes
It
to
is
call it.
it is the Mr. B rule.
All right, well,
I think that wraps up the week.
I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else anybody's got that they want to speak on.
No, I'm hungry.
We want to definitely say happy belated birthday. This was a birthday week for one of our castmates here, Kimmy. Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
It's birthday anniversary.
Definitely. So always want to give a shout out, and please like, subscribe, and give your happy birthday wishes to the queen of the show, the Queen Bee.
Queen K.
Queen K.
Just sounds wrong.
Yeah. But besides that, yeah, everything else is good. All good stuff happening for all of us. That's all that matters.
Moving on up, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. Zip.
Nice.
All right, I guess we should do our outro and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. AJ, do the thing.
All right, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us at MACKDOWN Podcast.
At MACKDOWN Podcast.
And we'll see you next time right here on the MACKDOWN
Podcast.
Bring the damn bell. I was so happy to see the Acclaim win that title, bro.
Yeah, me too. I felt like the match was paced interestingly. I felt like they had the crowd, dude. They had him. They had him in the palm of their hand, and then they did the stupid knee spot. They did the stupid knee spot again, dude. It's the same thing, different person.
Oh, when he was going for the elbow and his knee.
Check one, check two.
Yeah, he was supposedly pushed off the top rope by Swerve. Just the camera guys didn't see it.
See, that's bad. That's not good. That's not good. You can't tell stories like that.
Yep.
The cameraman needs to know where he's looking.
Exactly, and that's why, like, when people lay out matches, well, when they should do it, it's like, hey, these are the things that we want to hit on, like, for sure. So make sure that, and that was the thing, like, Kevin Nash and Mick Foley was great at that too, by the way. Just going, hey, look, for this shot, for this spot right here specifically, I want you to be on the ground level, like you're looking up, like you're the Undertaker, basically. And I'm going to come from the top rope to the floor with an elbow, and it's going to look like I'm coming into your house. And I'm like, dude.
Meticulous.
So meticulous. I mean, uber meticulous about shit like that.
Well,
Which
it makes
I
sense
appreciate.
because you're like a director.
Yeah, exactly. You're your own director.
Talking about Kevin or Mick?
Mick.
Mick.